All right, this is Randalicious, and welcome to the 52nd Hexis podcast. Happy New Year. Let's get it going. I'm Randalicious, and I'm the leader of Hexis.
I'm Aubrey. I'm making some runes.
I'm Zoydberg, a claw in Hexis.
I'm Staigzor. I'm a tree-burn owner in Hexis.
I'm Kacy. I have the most pets in the game. Just do pet hunting and completionist content.
God.
I'm Arptastic, rank 117,000 overall.
All right, Kacy, for people who might not know you, you mentioned some about pet hunting and completionist stuff. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your pet collection, how many hours you've spent on it? Give some people a little bit. Let them know who you are.
I guess I stream. I'm partnered streamer on Twitch. Started the pet hunt 2.5 years ago when there were a lot fewer than there are now. Hours wise, my account has 420, 430 days, something like that. Not all of that is pet hunting, but most of it. That's about it, really. I mean, come by the stream sometime. Mainly doing raids right now. Probably won't ever get them all, but as long as I'm playing, I'll be trying, I guess.
Nice to have a dream.
Keeps me with something to do, anyway. I'd probably rather be doing this than the XP grind, personally.
All right. Also, Arp, it's your first time on the podcast. You have a pretty unique account build. Are there any unique limitations to it that some of us might not even consider? Maybe like quests or farm runs, anything. I don't know. Tell us about your account and tell us about yourself.
Well, I've got 99 strength and 10 hit points, but I'm mostly the same as a skiller, so I have sort of the same problems a skiller would have. Mostly, yeah, like you mentioned, farm runs are something I need to use my ult for, because he's got the Lunar spellbook, so he can use the group teleports, and I can't do the gnome stronghold spots efficiently. Apart from that, just sort of the main thing that's annoying is teleports, getting around. I always need to have like a big stock of teletabs to get around, and jewelry, of course. But yeah, apart from that, I'm pretty much the same as a skiller.
What's the when random people see you, did they ask you questions about your account and which one comes up most?
Most of the time, the question I get is, "How did I do it?" And obviously, the answer to that is barbarian fishing. And then the next most common one would probably be, "Why did you do it?" And I don't have a good answer for that one.
I know that when I watched you stream a little bit, there were some people that would say something like, "Why don't you go PKing?" And I mean, it's pretty obvious, like ruining the 10 HP, but have you ever been tempted to want to do that at all?
Yeah, a lot of people ask me that one as well. No, I've got no intention to ever PK. It would just be 13 months of progress wasted.
Alright, let's move on to some topics here. So, raids came out, and they may have been big, may not, depends on who you ask, but...
They were big.
Well, what are your guys' thoughts on raids and the mechanics of the bosses and just everything about raids? Quality of the update, go ahead.
Overall, they were definitely a success in my opinion, and they didn't have any major game-breaking flaws, which is, a good thing. I enjoyed it a lot. I did like 60 or so raids, I think. I grinded it pretty hard the first like 4 days, and yeah, it was fun. I feel like it's kind of what dungeoneering should have been, because it's a little bit more organic feeling with the way the rooms are laid out, rather than just being like a bunch of square rooms in like an apartment complex type of deal. And I think that the bosses are pretty good. They're not always super well balanced for certain team sizes and stuff like that, but that's something that they can iron out with time. Yeah, overall, I think it was really good.
All right, Kacy, what do you think?
Raids were more than I had expected, but less than I had hoped for. With the way updates have been going lately, they're usually more empty than anything, but they're not bad. Dungeoning, in my opinion, was much better, but they had a much bigger team size making it, So, I enjoy them. I've probably done about 140 raids so far. And it can get a bit grindy and tedious with there only being so many rooms, but for first release, if they add more to it down the line, I think it's a pretty good update. Yeah, it's pretty decent.
I was very pleasantly surprised by how it turned out, that the mechanics they're solid mechanics instead of just flicking to this and changing to this gear. And I'm very happy about it not being millions an hour in supplies, and it's also the uniques are what makes you money. Otherwise you just pay for your supplies, I think.
Yeah.
Overall, just pleasantly surprised. Didn't break the game, and a lot of people are enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's two main aspects. Like Stefan said, the uniques being the main moneymaker. That's brilliant. I like the fact that you get rewarded based on your based on the points, which is pretty much how you perform within the raids. That's great. And then the mechanics, especially for Ulm. Anyone that's played kind of other MMOs where the raiding is more of the main selling point, that Ulm is passable as a World of Warcraft boss, which is really impressive for RuneScape. I remember being very impressed when I was watching the world first Hexis raid kill. I remember being very impressed at the mechanics they'd introduced. And I'm pleasantly surprised. Pretty much sums up for me as well.
All right. Big shout out, congratulations to the party of Hexis Orange on achieving the world first Ulm kill with a time of 1 hour, 13 minutes, 14 seconds. I have no idea how the fuck we got the world first raid kill. That is mind boggling, it really is. So
They legitimately wouldn't have done it if me and Stefan weren't directing
it. I really can't. Alright, so I know that I'm not even talking about raid. So I went to bed at 3 a.m. my time before raids came out, and I woke up at about 7:15, after just a few hours of sleep. And I happened to check my phone, and I'm seeing all these tweets like Hexis got first kill, Hexis, and I'm like, what's going on right now? I really couldn't believe it. And then to find out the people that were on the team, do you know how many very smart and talented PVMers there are out there? And then for the group that was able to get that first kill, every single day, I am more and more impressed that the group that we had out there got the first kill. Raids are difficult, and I just have no idea how they were able to accomplish that. Aubrey, you were on the team, right?
I was, yeah.
All right. Tell us a little bit about what you guys, what was the atmosphere like for you guys? Did you?
It was a lot of just quick thinking. With every single room that we came across, we were just spitting out ideas basically and trying to figure out what was going on as quickly as we could. I don't really remember exactly what rooms we got because we were so unfamiliar with them at the time.
You didn't get any of the mini bosses, I think. No, you did. You got the shamans as the first room because you all died immediately, and then you also got the pickaxe thing and the crab puzzle.
Yeah,
I think that was it.
No, it would have had to have been more than that.
Must have been something else, but I can't remember what it would have been.
Yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, when we got to Ulm, obviously we had no idea what was going on, so we just went in there and fucked around, and we figured out pretty quickly that we needed to attack the hands. So we were doing that, and then, we died lots of times, obviously, and we were just dying and running back in over and over again until we killed it. We didn't really have many of the mechanics figured out. Figured out the spikes pretty quickly.
Yeah. I know I've said it a few times. I hope I don't sound cocky, but I think me and Stefan helped as well, figuring out the mechanics. I think it went well. And I'm so upset that Dakami didn't manage to record it, because when he says they died a lot, that's underestimated. They probably died about 20 times on average each.
Yeah.
Just you kept running back in. There's about 10 of you on the first one, right? 11?
I can't remember. I think it was less than a full page of a CC.
Yeah. I also remember that nobody had even realised that was the world first one, because nobody knew until their counter tweeted out.
Yeah, we had no idea.
I didn't even realise that, like, Ulm was the only boss that you could get. We thought it was just random.
There was a lot of talk about that.
Yeah. It was fucking fun, though.
Yeah, so we have officially staked our claim as the #1 skilling and PVM clan now. We will be participating in the PVM Cup 2017. There was no skilling cup in 2016 for obvious reasons. You know, it's didn't want to make an embarrassment out of everyone else, but. So, alright, my actual thoughts on the bosses and raids and overall the mechanics. I think it's really good. Myself, I'm an absolute idiot, so there's no way in hell that I would be able to get that shit done. I'm too much of an idiot. And for that, they did a real good job because shit, mechanic-wise, everything was good. I was impressed with the quality of everything.
Oh yeah, some of them were genuinely you couldn't figure out, like, for the first 20 times. Like, there are some mechanics people don't know about, still. They're really good.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure that over time they'll continue to find different strategies that are even better than what whatever people think is the best. I'm sure there's going to be some things out there that are a little bit better than what we got going on right now. Different methods, different everything. But,
how's it going, Randy?
You trying to move on, Randy? What are you doing?
well, fuck. The fucking screen regions are messed up.
I've noticed.
So I'm trying to look at that, and then I'm trying to fucking smith at the same time. Oh, it's a mess.
You're having a rough time. Do you want me to do the next question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, so what are
your
your guys?
Second question you get to ask.
When have I asked one before?
If you would have watched the best and worst, you asked a question on there.
Alright, well, whatever. So, what are your guys' thoughts on the rewards and prices of the rewards from raids so far? That's a terribly worded question. Who did this? Alright.
I told you could proofread it and make any adjustments.
Yeah. Anyway, I probably should remove myself from this because I have no fucking idea. The only thing, actually, I'll go back to the point of, like, I like the fact that they didn't flood this thing with resources. It seems that the uniques are quite rare, it looks like. I mean, the bow, is the bow still max cash?
No, fuck no, it's like 1.3.
Oh, it's still quite a lot. I mean, the scroll is like 300 mil, right? Still? Except for the preserve one now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's extremely good so far. Not disappointed at all.
I mean, the only one that's sort of relevant to me is the Dragon Harpoon, if I was ever gonna go for, like, a big swordfish or something like that. I mean, I suppose on my ult I could use the Twisted Bow or something like that. I mean, the prices seem quite high, but I mean, it's still early days. Some things like the Kodai Wand and the Mage Gear, I'm surprised are that low. I thought they would be higher than that. But the Twisted Bow, where it's best in slot in so many places, I'm not surprised.
I don't really have an opinion because I'm not gonna bother using any of the rewards. But I guess I can express my concern on how Black Shins is apparently a mess now that Wiggins got his dragon claws.
Wait, what?
Or wiggled, I mean. Sorry.
Oh.
And apparently he's camping there a lot, and he's inspired more people to get 2k total and PK Black Shins, which is...
I'm so glad I never have to hunt again.
I was just thinking the same damn thing. Like, do you know how terrible it would be having to hunt all of this stuff?
God.
Like, with Rigor coming out as well? Like...
I'd have died a lot more times.
Oh yeah, good fucking luck, hunters. Like... If you're hunting, I hope you have one of those. I hope you have one of those Din's Bulwark.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's That's got to be your only chance of survival now with the way things are.
2 fucking red chins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
At least the
yeah.
prices are good.
Yeah, but it's full always.
The prices of
Gosh.
red chins are like 1.9k each or something like that.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're
I
almost
sold my
range
last one for
for raids.
1300.
There was someone going for 200 mil range, I heard, and bought it all, so they skyrocketed in price.
Hell yeah.
I think most of the rewards lately have been fluctuating a lot. Every day going up or down. Like, depending on the item, 30, 40 mil, 100, 200 mil. It's going to be a little while before like they get to a stable price, but I think most things are... I'm surprised claws are as high as they are and have stayed as high as they are, but I guess it really just depends on rarity. So, as myself, I have not seen anyone get a pair of claws in any raids I've been in, so they're definitely rare. And that's mainly what decides prices is supply and demand. And there's a lot of demand for claws and very little supply. Same with the bow. The prayer scrolls, I've been on the fence about buying rigor and augury, but I really don't want to spend 300 mil on a scroll.
Fuck no.
I will buy them if it comes to a point where they're stable and doesn't look like they're going to go down any further, but as they're dropping currently, I feel like I'm going to wait and just wait a little bit.
I think they're pretty good. I did not expect prayer scrolls to be anywhere near how much they are. Like 300, and they went as high as 600 mil at one point. Like I sold the one that I got for 530 mil. They're going down now at least, but
I would have expected them to realize how many people need them, and it made them a bit more common. Like not like common like the Torm prayer scrolls, but maybe a little bit more common than they are. Because like the same thing, I've done like 130 something raids, and I've had one prayer scroll or seen one prayer scroll.
yeah, it's just weird because like
every account that wants completionist content or to have best in slot prayers needs 2 of them. So
yeah, I feel like they should make it so that it unlocks both prayers and make them more common. Like piety, all you need to do is like a pretty easy quest, and then the 2 other prayers that are equivalent for other combat styles are more expensive than a lot of best in slot gear and that kind of thing. It's just strange. But I think other than that, the rarity of the rewards and stuff is good. Definitely need more magic seeds on the drop table though.
Yes.
and clue scrolls.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So with the prices of everything so far, I think it's been real interesting. We've seen the prices of them fluctuate. You know, like the Kodai wand, which, man, fuck them. Like, first, let me say that thing is supposed to be the Elder Wand, and they just decided to change the name up on us. It was originally the Kodai wand, but then they rebranded it as the Elder Wand, and it passed as an Elder Wand. And then they just come out with the Kodai wand. It upsets me. Obviously, if that's something that I'm complaining about, the rest of what they did is pretty damn good if I'm trying to be that picky. But the prices of everything, really surprising. These scrolls are way too fucking expensive. I remember when they were showing off like some possible rewards, like these prayers were not supposed to be something that were extremely rare to get. And to me, it doesn't really make much sense that you're only able to unlock one of the prayers. And I think that since they're so expensive, they're not going to do anything about them because they want raids to be rewarding. And, I know that they mentioned something about devaluing the prayers from people that had bought them in the first week, but I don't really see that as being a big deal. Obviously, I don't really like the price of it because I know I'm gonna have to buy them at some point, and the prices they're at are just, it's really unbelievable. But yeah, the Kodai wand I know has fluctuated between like 80 mil and 140 mil, and I think it's up to like 100 right now. Prices of things are gonna settle down soon, and looking forward to buying everything up when they do. Everything but the bow. I mean, I expected the bow to be like a bill, and looks like it's going up even more. So Yeah, hey, Casey, what do you know what the average GP per hour is from raids?
I've not sold anything that I've gotten so far. I just bank it and just move on. A lot of it depends on how many points you get. So the better you are, the more you're going to make. Like I usually average 400 to 500k a raid. That's with a twisted bow out DPSing my majority of my team almost every time, but I haven't done like any math on it really. No.
Okay. I think it'll be real interesting to see what
And
the
then it's
GP is.
also extremely hard to like calculate the uniques into it because we don't really know drop rates or anything about it really. So
Yeah, I guess so. Alright, so the preserved prayer scrolls. Now, uh, he said not to quote him, but I'm gonna quote him and put him on a podcast about it. So Ginge said that the preserved prayer scroll is not worth it using it for Slayer. You'd spend more money on prayer pots than what you would save on super combats. This, however, may be useful at some bosses. I'm not really sure what, but what
Is
do
that
you
even
think?
assuming that it's free? Like you unlock the thing for free? It's just
Uh,
not worth it based on the costs.
yeah, like even if
Well,
you had the prayer for free, it wouldn't be worth using. Like, I wonder if the mods tested that at all, or what their idea for the prayer is, because I mean, it's probably useful at some bosses, but for regular Slayer, it's not worth it. What do you think?
I don't really have much of an opinion on this, but I didn't even know about this. But so it drains prayer too fast, basically.
Alright, so pretty much like how much money you save on like a super combat, you spend more than that on like a prayer potion.
I, I doubt that they have like when they're developing things like this, they really think that far into it. Um, I don't think that they'll do anything about it, though. Honestly,
Yeah, I don't either. Um, seeing Oslo saying here that it's gonna be useful at bandos, like if you get a lot of super restore. So like I'm sure it does have some small uses, but I was pretty surprised to see that it's not worth it for regular Slayer.
Yeah, I mean it's probably not something that they tested at all. Which I mean, they didn't even test that you could like flick it every however frequently it was and make your stat boost stay forever. So yeah, they
how do
definitely
they
didn't
not
put too
test
much
that?
thought to
Yeah,
this.
for
Like the first thing you test.
Yeah.
for people that might not know everything about that situation, can you expand a little bit on what had happened?
Nobody had unlocked it for the first week because it was just too expensive and nobody would have spent like 500 mil to unlock that shitty prayer. And then once the update on Thursday rolled around and they made the new scroll for it that's a lot more common, then people started unlocking it and somebody tried just turning it on and off every time your stat is about to drain, and then it makes it so your stat didn't drain anymore. They hotfixed it.
I definitely thought higher of Jagex than when the video came out of some guy doing it. I definitely thought that it was just a prank, someone trying to merge or whatever. I definitely thought higher of Jagex than letting something like this slip past, especially when they did the whole you can't relog to keep your boost anymore update.
Yeah.
I thought that whole update was to prevent this. Out of the Fed, like it not being worth using for Slayer, I'm not surprised at all. It didn't. I don't know. It didn't look like it.
I'm not sure I mind it not being useful for Slayer or not, because I mean, even as it is now, potions have like tanked. They've gone down so much, and I mean, if it is useful at places, if it has a niche, then I mean, I don't see too much of a reason why it would need to be changed. I mean, I think it's probably useful at Zulrah if you use the rejuvenation pool inside your player-owned house. But yeah, I mean, it shouldn't have to be you shouldn't have to be expected to use it in every situation. So I mean, I'm personally quite happy with how it is, but I know a lot of people aren't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think of like why we got the prayer. I mean, like opposite, it's got very few niche uses, but in general, I think I'm remembering like the list of prayers that they had in mind, and I think this was just one of those ones that like didn't seem stupid enough for everyone to ridicule it immediately, but when you think about it, it's actually kind of useless.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it's either good or it's useless. So, like, you know, I mean, they made it not good, so it's useless pretty much.
well, yeah, I mean, it didn't look that terrible at all. Seeing everything else that was up there, like this one didn't look like it sucked so
Yeah,
much. Just
when you
because
put it next to like Prey, but with a running one. When you
oh
put it
man,
next to that, it looks brilliant.
yeah, like if you're poisoned, it takes away points from your prayer
Yeah.
instead of your HP. It doesn't really seem too bad up next to those. But yeah, as Aubrey did state before, so yeah, during the first week, not a single player that used the prayer scroll unlocked preserve. The stats on it was like 89% of people used it on rigor, and like 11% of people used it on augury. And yeah, I thought it was pretty funny that not a single person had used it on preserve. I was a little surprised at how high of a percentage that people used it on rigor, though. It was interesting, and I liked getting Lottie. She posted the rune stats for that.
I'm not particularly surprised by the rigor thing. Clearly the strongest prayer of the three.
Yeah. All right, so next is it took 8 days for the first Olm pet in game. I mean, I guess it given how much people would have done raids, it would make this probably like the rarest pet in the game. They still haven't said how to get it, so I mean, I don't know if it's just from a drop or I don't fucking know. But let's post a picture of the pet. What do you guys think about how it looks? And shit.
It looks like an albino kangaroo, man. It looks amazing. I love it. I just fucking love it.
Do you guys think the pet was in the game for the first week? They claim that it was.
I know a lot of people are saying it wasn't. I wouldn't put it past them.
They said it was
There's
in there.
no way.
I refuse to believe that.
There's no way. Like, as soon as the update hit, there was somebody with a pet, like, same day, right? And then there's been at least one pet a day since then. People were doing more raids early on than now. I guess people are probably getting more points now, but still, there's no way.
Each screenshot that I've seen of a pet so far, they've gotten a unique item as
Yeah,
well.
that's
so
interesting.
I'm assuming it's you hit the unique table and then you roll for the pet as well, similar to like the way I see it working is like you hit like Corp, like you hit the sigil table, then you roll for the different items which have different rarities. And I'm sure the pet is on there with very, very slim chance, but as far as it being on the drop table for the first week, they seem pretty adamant that it was, but what we've seen with it not, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that it was, no. I think I've been told there's 3 or 4 of them in the game now, since Thursday.
Yeah. I just really liked that the pet's called Omelette. It sounds a bit like omelette. So, big congrats to them for that.
Yeah, I'm never going to believe that the pet was in the game for the first 7 days. I know that they messed up and did that with Corp as well, so it really wouldn't surprise me that they forgot to add in the pet. I mean, looking at a few things, so like they forgot to add the pet. They renamed the Elder Wand the Kodai Wand. They forgot that you needed a Master Wand attached to the Kodai Wand. And there's no way there was a pet.
They also forgot to add in a counter, which
Oh
I
yeah,
found really annoying.
they forgot to add in a counter. Like what? That's like adding in a skill. It's like adding in a skill and not giving fucking XP for it.
I don't like how all 3 of the seeds in the raids are the exact same color the two of the herbs are basically the same color. Like they could have
Yeah, I
just
agree
made
with
them
you there.
different colors. Like
It makes me think. I remember being very impressed that they'd managed to keep to their schedule of releasing it in January. It makes me think that they probably rushed. They tried very hard to meet that schedule. I reckon because there was obviously a lot of things left out.
Yeah, like one thing that concerned me was that they had promised this date quite a bit in advance, and given that like the 2 weeks prior to it coming out would have been Christmas, New Year's, like they had time off, so like raids, I'm gonna assume that they were they were probably confident releasing it like at or before Christmas, given how much time they probably would have had off with the holidays and everything. You know, like because you're not gonna have a whole lot of work that you're gonna let yourself come back to after coming back from vacation. So, I mean, they did forget a lot of shit, but it came 7 months later than what they had expected. But I think overall, pretty solid, but just a few pretty big bugs. And not really even bugs, just more so oversights on their part.
Well, there were a couple of straight up bugs, and Kacy knows firsthand of one of them.
Oh shit. Yeah, so
there's still tons of bugs. I've found plenty of things. Not that I haven't been abusing them, but there's a lot of things that need to be fixed.
Who said it was a bug?
Yeah.
Alright, Arp, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it does seem odd that it took so long for someone to get the pet, and it just happened to be the day after Thursday. But I mean, they said on that Q&A that there was some strange mechanic, and they were writing some number down. I don't know if that was just trolling or whatever, but they were saying there was a strange way to get it. And when Matt K had a look at it, he said, "Yeah, no one would have guessed that yet." So I don't know. It could just be like a weird mechanic that people have suddenly started doing and not realizing. I don't know.
Yeah, not a lot of clarity from them. But alright, so next, the Ruby Bolt. Alright, so an unpulled nerf to Ruby Bolt's Enchanted, limiting their max hit to 100. They previously could hit 222. But now they're only maxing out at 100. What are you guys' thoughts on the unpulled hotfix?
I don't think that they needed to pull it, as it was already capped at other places. I just think that they should have already had capped it. Pretty obvious. Like I don't know if just none of them used Ruby Bolts while they were playtesting it, but it makes the Twisted Bow a lot more relevant in raids, so that's not a bad thing.
How high could it hit on Corp before? Because I'm assuming it was the highest it could hit.
It's always been capped on Corp as far as I remember.
What was it capped on? 100?
100.
It's not capped, it just works out at 100 though, doesn't it? Because it would be 200, but then it's halved because it's not a Hasta.
Oh, that's a good point.
Could it hit over 100 on any other boss?
Nothing had enough health.
Well, I don't see a problem with it then.
Actually, it's a fair point. I mean, yeah, Corp it isn't a straight up cap. That's interesting when you think about it like that.
It was already capped at 222.
Was it supposed to hit higher than 222?
I guess what chat's saying. I guess it would have. What would it have hit if it was higher? How much HP do some of those bosses have? I guess that actually just depends on like the scaling, right? Because the more in your team, the more HP they have. So like 50-man teams would be hitting like thousands, maybe.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. So I guess they did clearly cap it at 222, or it previously was.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Alright, I guess now that you put it in that way, it makes it a lot easier for that. You know, my only experience of PVMing is at the Todd, so getting to hear something like that makes it pretty clear for me that yeah, if you had like a dozen, 20, 30, 40 people on a team and these things had higher HP and you could hit 222 and mean, that does sound pretty crazy, and I do understand why they did it, and it does make the twisted bow better, as you were saying. And I mean, there's a number of reasons as to why they did it, and I completely understand. I don't think there's anything wrong with them doing it.
I don't know. I mean, I thought that the previous cap was alright. Like, people are still getting pretty comparable raid times without, like, after the cap, so I don't think it was overpowered. I feel like Ruby builds were serving their purpose, and they didn't need to be capped so heavily, but I don't know, I don't really care that much.
They're still pretty decent. Like, if you don't have a twisted bow, for a lot of the bosses in there, hitting 100 really helps. It can clutch bosses, but at the same time, like the twisted bow, I've had it for I don't know, probably 4 or 5 days now, and like last phase Ulm is just constant 300, 400, 500 XP drops like every single shot. It wouldn't really surprise me if they nerfed it. I guess it's not that accurate at other bosses, but ridiculous on last phase Ulm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a strong opinion either way, but it seems like a reasonably justified change. And like Aubrey said, it doesn't really affect the raids that much. Just the last phase of Ulm, like, yeah, it doesn't really matter that much. I'm not really sure why they felt so justified to hotfix it without a poll, to be honest, but fair enough. Not really that bothered.
Alright, so they made a change to Ulm, so his mage and range attacks would deal 16 damage past prayer instead of 8. This made the boss fight very RNG heavy rather than good mechanics. They later reverted this. Thoughts for those who did the boss before and after?
Anyone?
You not got an opinion, Kacy?
I do. I was just waiting.
Go for it.
The morning of the update, the first 2 raids I did. First 2 raids I did, I was still using Arcane and Defender, and I died twice on both raids. So I banked them, got my Ellie out, and then the next 3 raids, I ended with 6+ bruise, like every kill. I think the first couple of raids, the first just getting on, like I think I was a bit rusty, but the rest of the day, I switched back to Arcane and Defender, and did fine the rest of the day. I don't think I died, period. But I did hear a lot of people complaining about it, like running out of bruise, and I guess it was a lot tougher than it is now. But I don't think they needed to change it back because now it's just easy. Like if you know the mechanics, you don't. The only damage you really take is if you're not praying. Like it switches its auto attack, and you take a 30 from a mage attack if you're praying range. That's like the only damage you really take.
Yeah, I mean, I've only killed it once, so when it was doing 8 damage, I couldn't really talk about that. But what I can say is, like, I don't like just damage you can't avoid, that being the different mechanic in a fight. I'm glad that Ulm is a kind of dodgeable mechanic boss, even though obviously you've killed it 150 times now. You know, you've learned to dodge pretty much everything at this point. But I still like that the focus is on your skill rather than just a tank test.
Yeah, I mean, still, like, just the damage you take from its auto attacks, I usually have with, I want to say I have, let's see, 6, 11 or 12 switches. I still end with like 3, 4 bruise. Just depends, really. I don't know how it goes, but a lot of it is like depending on how much food you end with. It just depends on RNG, basically. Yeah, if you have the mechanics down.
Yeah, I like a little variance as possible.
Yeah, I think it's definitely better to take less damage due to things you can't avoid. They can make mechanics as hard as they want, and I think that's good, but... And a certain amount of unavoidable damage is fair enough, but if it's just constantly destroying you, like, that's basically how KQ works, and it's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Alright, so... Apparently they're going to be coming out with a quality of life poll sometime soon. what are some kind of quality of life things that you would like to see? I mean, there's a post on Reddit that was made by West, and I guess this one's more so for graphics, but whether it's graphics or just regular quality of life, what are some things that stand out to you? There's something that you love or hate that you'd like to see. Zoid.
Yeah, sorry. Um, so just graphical changes I'd like to see. Honestly, like, I don't care if the game looks shit.
Let me just interrupt you and announce that Graceful is being made great again.
Listen, I'm all for Graceful being made great again. I'm just not, I'm not a huge supporter. I'm just fine with it.
I like the new Graceful.
I want
Sure,
the old
you like the new
graceful.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, now honestly, I can't even think of anything off the top of my head that I care about how it looks. Maybe like the palm trees. They're too droopy. If we fix the palm trees, I'll be happy.
I mean, they changed the magic stump, so I don't see why not.
Yeah.
So depressing. When that you know a dead palm tree. That is the most depressing thing in RuneScape. Where it's just drooped over. It's horrible.
It does look so depressed.
It looks how it feels.
Yeah. It makes me sad when I see it though. So I don't want to be sad on my farm run.
Anytime I'd see a dead tree, I'd be pretty sad too.
Pay them, Zoid.
Fuck off.
Yeah, man, the price of coconuts are at an all-time low. Same with papayas.
Tough time, Randy. You've heard MYJ. Soon.
Man,
It's gonna be impossible, Randy.
It's
I've got to conserve all the GP I can.
Gotta be tough out there.
It really is tough out here.
I've got that alt privilege.
Almost like if the dog didn't exist.
Oh yeah.
Alright, Arp, what about you?
Just looking through that recolor for Elite Void, I think looks really nice. There's
Let's see.
the other
I
thing
see.
would be the dense essence rock at the Zaya RC mine. When it gets depleted, it's really
See, your mic's cutting in and
good color
out.
have been, so that'd be nice if they. Oh, sorry. Is that fixed now?
Yeah, start over, try again.
Okay. It was the Zaya RC mine was the other thing I was interested in. Where it's really difficult to see if it's depleted or not. So that'd be a nice one. That one's more practical than the Elite, but yeah, I really like the look of that Elite Void.
Yeah, it does look nice.
I don't like if they're making the new like the animated fire cape. I like the way it is, the max fire cape.
It looks like shit.
What, you like it?
I love it.
You're the only
You
person that likes
you like it because it looks ridiculous, not because it's good quality.
Other
like-
than that, I think I'm in the minority when it comes to this, but if they made the RS3 graphic in old school without changing the game itself, I would be ecstatic. Like that would be the best thing in the world.
I think everyone in the chat now hates you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand with in that. Like, I love.
You went from a fan favorite to into the dog house real quick.
I love old school RuneScape, but better graphics is always better in my eyes.
Your definition of better seems to be questionable.
Don't really have much opinion on cosmetic quality of life stuff. I don't really care too much. If I hadn't just been doing raids and like BA for the last couple of months, I'd maybe have more input on actual quality of life stuff, but nothing comes to mind right now, really.
I really want them to revert the Castle Wars Halos back to how they used to look, because they pulled making them glow a little bit more, and rather than making them glow, they just made them look completely different. Like, the Ceridome Halo used to be blue, and now it's like neon cyan, and it just looks fucking awful. So it'd be nice if they either reverted them or made them look like what the suggestion that prompted that poll actually looked like the images that people made on Reddit and stuff. They look horrible.
Alright, yeah, I'm very excited for Graceful to become great again. You know, this movement started back probably in like June of last year is really when it started picking up some steam.
It's been that long.
It's been a long time coming. You know, never give up on your dream. Don't let your memes be dreams.
Yeah.
You know, always push for what you believe in, and you know, maybe you'll be lucky enough that your dream comes true. And this is what graceful is for me. Very excited. I even posted a picture on my Twitter about a week or two ago, a little bit before they announced that Graceful was going to be repulled with the cosmetic change. So after I finished the Zaya Diaries, I got the full white Graceful, and like I said, like I've sold out and I've bought it, and then I posted a picture. You know, like the meme of like from Dexter's Lab, where he's like saying, crying to thing in his locker, like I've failed you, and I had the picture of the old Graceful up there. You know, I failed you. Like at that point, I was accepting that it was never gonna come, and then just a week later to find out that it's coming back. Incredible. Very happy.
You did the Zaya favor?
Yeah, for Slayer.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Who for Slayer?
Uh,
That can't be worth it.
well, I'ma tell myself it was worth it.
It wasn't worth it.
Oh shit, it was a good way to pass a couple days. But what the fuck was the question? Oh, quality of life. I really like what that fire cape's gonna look like. The fire max cape, the one that we currently have, Stefan. It looks terrible. Anyone with a real opinion knows that the fire max cape looks like crap. Like it's the McDonald's cape.
What's your opinion on the Firemax car?
Let me see if that thing looked terrible. Don't get me started on that one. Yeah, I went back to the last fucking podcast to get the damn link so I could link a picture of what that looked like onto this one just so people could see, and I see a Fire Max car instead of a Fire Max cape. Cannot begin to tell you how pissed off
Can you
I
link it at
was.
least?
Oh Jesus, yeah. Give me a minute and I'll find your Fire Max car. But
Hell yeah.
was not happy about that one. Better believe I was disappointed. Alright, so yeah, here is the picture right here. I just put it in the Twitch chat. I went back to the old podcast to see so I could find the cape so I could post it again in this one, and this is what I fucking saw instead.
But you realise you opened this on the podcast last time and got annoyed at me then?
Yeah.
Double whammy with that meme.
Yeah, you know, the gift that keeps on giving. Alright. So.
Why did he tweet it at himself?
You know what he's like.
Alright. So I was talking about doing the Zaya favor. Well, let's talk about some Zaya achievement diaries. So apparently, a lot of people on Reddit are getting pretty excited about it, and here is like an idea that was posted with a pretty much did all the work for the mods with the task list with easy, medium, hard, elite, and some rewards that you could get from it. If you haven't given it a read through, that's fine, but I think it's nice. I know that coming out with the Zaya diary is something they wanted to do at some point, and you know, I guess we're kind of in that time right here where we're going to be waiting. I think the next big update is going to be Fossil Island. So, you know, maybe this is something that would come out in between, but what do you think about Achievement Diaries there?
Well, they said that they don't want to do a diary for that area until they've like completed it, and so far they've only done 2 like major Zaya thingies, and there's still a lot more to add to it. Like Korend is just supposed to be 1 city on Zaya, so and there's 0 quests on Zaya. It's still pretty incomplete, so I don't think that it's time for a diary yet.
I'm reading through this right now. I don't give a shit about the diary. Where the hell is Crabcore Isle? I want to go there.
Off the coast, south of
Oh my lord! Why is no one talking about this? I'm gonna get a picture of there right now.
See, you're
cost 10k.
It looks like a clone.
10k?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not banking. I'll go tomorrow.
Yeah, alright, so apparently the next updates per Ash are Silver Jewelry, then Brimstone, then Fossil Island.
What is Brimstone?
I honestly don't know. I'd like to at least give off the illusion that I know something every once in a while, and this isn't one of those times where I know what it is. Anyone in here know what that is?
Nope.
Shit. Well, fuck it.
I don't know what's on the usuals there. Like, I don't know what they plan on adding.
Didn't they, haven't they scrapped that Coliseum thing? Because that was like,
Yeah, because we got Last Man Standing instead, I think.
yeah. I mean, Zay was supposed to come out in 3 batches, and they scrapped the 3rd batch.
Brimstone is Jad City 2, apparently.
Ah, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, hell yeah, Jad 2. Oh, where's the picture of Jad? Where's the gift of Jad 2 spinning around?
Is that past the poll?
no, Jad 2 is not past the poll.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
But it was. You'd already done all the artwork. It was finished.
Yeah. It has not passed. They have to pull it again.
That model is complete.
It'll be coming out. I mean, it's all about giving players the illusion that they control the game. Jad 2 will be coming.
The blender. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, those arms just.
I need that picture.
It's like it's like a fan, like a ceiling fan up, just spinning around.
Oh, was that it?
Shit.
We've got it. So bad.
Oh my
Remind me of
What
a game.
the-
What is
God.
that called?
Reminds you of what?
It's a game. Oh no.
Oh well.
Hold on, I need to find it.
I
What
haven't
is
seen that
that?
before.
That is.
I can't wait for Jad 2 now. I'm voting
great.
yes.
Yeah, if you guys aren't voting yes for Jad 2 after seeing that, you got
Only if
something.
they keep it like this, though.
Yeah. Like, what do you think the mechanics for killing that are?
I think it should be on and just be that.
I'm tweeting out that it's too good. All right,
What the fuck were we talking about?
let's get a little bit back on the topic. You know, let's just go into this. I wanted to talk about this because I saw it on Reddit and I thought it was saw it on Reddit. I thought it was pretty cool. It's this guy who got a custom keyboard and it has a whole bunch of RuneScape icons on it, you know, like inventory and everything like that, like your F keys, potions, D picks, whips, prayers, and a whole bunch of stuff like this. So yeah, it's a RuneScape keyboard, and even the letters on the keyboard are done in RuneScape text. I thought it was pretty cool. So what do you guys think about this keyboard, and what kind of keyboard do you have?
So the keyboard, I mean, you know, it looks pretty cool. So he's obviously spent some time doing it. Is he actually using this? Like, did he
Yeah.
actually make this? That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, you know, he's a very dedicated person, or she. I don't want to assume. Yeah, it's cool. Oh, you know what would be better though? Have they AHK bound the F keys at the top to the correct tab?
Yeah.
Oh well, wonderful. So random.
Yeah, that's it. That's incredible.
Okay. I memean, I just have this keyboard. I linked in the Twitch chat. I don't care for mechanical keyboards. I've never bothered. I like this one. Yeah, not much to say about it. Not particularly exciting keyboard.
Very similar to mine. I just have a Logitech laptop keys.
I have a Q-Pad MK50. It's just like there's like 3 models of keyboard you can get with red switches, and this was the only one that didn't cost a fortune. I would not.
But you wouldn't
How
buy the
much-
RuneScape one.
How much time did they spend doing that?
Actually, that's good. If RuneScape, if Jagex launched this keyboard, would you guys buy one? And how much would you guys be willing to pay?
Is it a mechanical keyboard?
Let's
You know, like,
let's say yes.
let's say yes.
Even though we know it wouldn't be. Let's just say yes.
If they sold the keys individually, I would buy the font because I like the font
Font
on
is
the
cool.
Yeah,
regular
they could
letters.
just sell the keycaps.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Other than that, no, fuck that.
The keycaps are pretty cool. I'd like to buy some of the F key ones. That would actually be pretty cool. I'd like that. For the keyboard though, non-mechanical. Maybe I'd pay like $40 and just own like, and then I wouldn't even use it. It would just be a paperweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool. But it would be horribly impractical though. Like, you don't. A lot of the number keys and just random keys on his keyboard are overridden with just like random RuneScape images.
Yeah, that to me is something that I didn't like.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's cool looking. It's a cool thing to see on Reddit, but I wouldn't actually want one myself. And I have a Corsair K70.
Oh yeah, you know what's good. So do I. Corsair K70. Got the same thing. One of the best keyboards there is. Incredible. Love it.
I had one, it broke.
Did you love it?
No.
How did it break?
Was it your fault?
Completely out of my hands, man.
Oh yeah,
Let's
what
move
happened then?
Jagex launched the keyboard.
Sounds like it was your fault, Stefan. So
Under-
It would
under
be
the
released with the space bar come a week later. It's funny.
Under the spacebar on the K70, there's like a big hole that goes directly down to like, I guess like, is it called a motherboard or whatever?
yeah, whatever.
I spilled a tiny drop of water, man. Just barely anything, and it's just gone.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like it completely wasn't your fault.
Yeah. Faulty design.
It's not a faulty design. You're a faulty person. Corsair.
You can tell us. Was it a
K70.
full bottle of water?
No, it actually wasn't.
Tell us.
It was the water, man.
We can all keep your secret.
It's still, why is there a big hole under the space key? Like, you can pick the space key away now if you want to, over around it. Like, just check. Huge hole.
You try and pour some water down it.
I don't see any holes. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's it, Steph.
I have it under my bed, man. I can take a picture if it comes down to that.
Maybe it's a different version or something. Like, it just has one key thing, the same as all the other keys, just in the center of the spacebar. Oh, wait, no, actually I see what you're talking about. It's like in the middle, it's like a long line hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That screwed me over.
Did you have the spacebar keycap off or something?
Nope.
How did you manage to get a drop of water down there then?
It wasn't just a drop, like I spilled like,
Oh,
just a little bit of
Okay, so there was nothing wrong with the keyboard. Going back to what I had said, you are a faulty person.
I've spilled water on
Yes.
multiple keyboards and they
Yes.
haven't broken, but this one is just...
Yeah, well, when you get to the finer things in life, even a slight sneeze ruins it.
Moving on.
Alright, so Kieran talked about tick manipulation, and I thought this was interesting because this was pretty much the exact opposite of what we had been told about a year ago about tick manipulation. So this is a long post. If you don't like me or the sound of my voice or are ready to take a little nap, now's the time because I got something here that I'm about to read real quick. So
You can read it all out.
the people deserve.
Oh, I'm going bareback
No.
then.
Yeah. Well, all right. We'll take this moment to take a break from the Hexis podcast while I go and ramble off about what Kieran said. So, all right. Kieran talking about tick manipulation says, firstly, the boosting thing was fixed inadvertently. We didn't set out to fix it. It was a side effect of implementing the new prayer. I guess he's talking about something else. But all right, tick manipulation, which is done by doing some other kind of activity which sets an action delay on your character shorter than the one you have already set, allows you to go back to the first activity, doing it sooner than otherwise. To fix this means going everywhere this action delay system is used and rewriting it in a better way, something we generally do, by the way, with new content. This is a big job to change, and I'd be lying if I said we were happy with tick manipulation being a mechanic, being completely honest. It is a situation where we live with it due to the time constraints related to solving it and the insane effort required to do it. I'm gonna put a break right in here because what we were told last year, they said that it was a very easy thing to fix and that they were happy with how tick manipulation was because they saw it as being balanced. So for him to say it's something that's difficult and something for them to not like, that's interesting. All right. While fixing, he goes on and says, while fixing the restoring of stats would have been easier, we've left this out for the length of time for similar reasons. Ultimately, we lived with it as it had been the way for a while, and with some effort was involved. While not feeling completely happy with the status quo, we weren't going out of our way to fix it, and was always the way it was in old school. Now that we were adding content that happened to solve it as a side effect, it would feel odd to code something to happen to exploit to bypass requirements. Let you apologize now. Boosting time. Oh, he talks about boosting time there. He says, like, for example, prayer flicking. We have no intention of solving that at all. Don't believe, at least, that many players would want it solved. It has become interlocked with skilled combat for many to the point some mechanics are made with it even in mind. Another example, the ability to like eat a shark in a brew, similar to action delays mentioned earlier. Food has a food delay, and potions have a potion delay. However, the brew was given the potion delay despite being a food item. This was regarded as a bug. In fact, this was fixed somewhere in 2009, 2010. Pretty much, he just goes on talking about tick manipulation, and he's not sure that people would want it being done. But he states that a substantial portion of the community think that it should be taken out. Which, I mean, a lot of what he had to say is interesting. And a lot of what he said also contradicts what he had said before.
I'm back.
Alright, so what are your guys' thoughts on what he said about tick manipulation and everything?
From my understanding, he said that they don't want to solve flicking and tick eating because it's part of the game. As if tick manipulation isn't part of the game, like two-tick woodcutting or some shit like that. Like, you can't separate them, I feel like. They have to be treated as same, because they are the same. They work in the same way. Like, if you fix one, you're probably gonna fix the other one, if you're not, like, adding a menu or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand in the first place why people are so opposed to tick manipulation. Like, it's higher effort for higher reward. There's nothing preventing you from training the skills how Jagex intended them to be. And, like, it being in the game has no negative effects that I can see. It just makes some skills more engaging to people who enjoy click-intensive skilling. And something like fishing, I would just find to be horrible without any form of tick manipulation. Just and woodcutting too would just be so dull. So I really hope that they don't do this. I just don't understand it. I don't know why people are so opposed to it. It just seems like there's this community of people, mainly Redditors, who just hate high-level players and hate efficient players, and just want to get at them and like take away the things that they like. And I don't understand it at all. It's the same thing with AHK.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really agree that you can't separate out like tick manipulation when it affects skills versus when it affects PVM. Like, that's just so ridiculous and inconsistent.
Yeah, well, I for one am really tired of all these no-life virgins who only play RuneScape 18 hours a day, and I think tick manipulation should be removed because some of us have a life.
Alright, so I know that a lot of people don't like it, but I'd be surprised if the substantial portion of players would want it to be fixed. And I just don't really like this post at all because it's completely different than what they had said before. And I just don't like that. It goes from something being easy and something that they loved having in the game because it's balanced content to suddenly something that would be nearly impossible to fix and something that they don't enjoy.
More balanced than most of the skilling updates that they've made.
It actually is.
Intended.
Yeah. As a more serious answer, like it's I can understand why people don't like it because actually I can't understand why people don't like it. From point they're not going to do it. Like it doesn't affect anyone. I know, like I don't like things that don't affect me, but still, I think for people to try and separate prayer flicking from tick manipulation, like they're either going to fix them all, which I don't think anybody wants, or they're going to fix none of them. So I don't see it being changed.
Bugs and stuff is like what defines older games as well. I don't even agree with how they fix so you can't relog to keep your boost. I think they should just fix so you couldn't abuse the prayer with it. I don't like them solving a lot of the old bugs that were from the game from the start. Just because people are finding new ways of using them.
I'm pretty much just echoing what other people have said. I think it's I think tick manipulation is good. I mean, you have to put in more effort and you get higher experience rates by doing so. I was a bit confused when I read about Kieran saying that because when I read that I thought back to when we did the Skilling Cup, and that the post they made about it, they said something along the lines of "Well done to Hexis for finding this new method" or something like that. They didn't say it was bad or anything like that. They actually sort of praised it.
Yeah, I remember like before they posted the results for the Skilling Cup, the mods PM'd me in game and they were like, "How the hell did you do this?" They're like, "All right, like, because for the Skilling Cup they had to manually confirm that all of the XP was legit." And when they saw all of our averages being like I think our average was like 177k or something like that, 175, which is not too bad given how little practice everyone had. And they were like, "Yeah, like on our side, it confirms that these are legit hours. How the hell are they legit?" And then I was like, "Do I really have to tell you?" And Ronan was like, "Yeah."
Well, so you wouldn't tell me, but you'd tell Ronan.
I only told him because he forced me to tell him.
Yeah. Did you mention while I was gone, like about a year ago, Kieran was watching one of the podcasts. He talked about tick manipulation in the chat.
Yeah, that was something that I was talking about before. Yeah, a year ago, Kieran had stated that tick manipulation, changing that would have been something that would be easy to fix, something that was balanced, and something that they liked, a high effort, high reward. So that to me is surprising, seeing this post here, that it's something that he doesn't like and something that would be hard to do. Like, he made it seem like the only reason why it's not being done is because it's too time consuming. And at this point, I am not sure what the real answer is. I gotta know what has changed. Like, I mean, I can see his opinion changing and whether he likes it or not, but from a development standpoint, what changed to where it went from an easy fix to something way too time consuming? I don't know. Certainly is interesting though. Oh shit, I just fucking closed out of the doc. Go ahead, ask the next question while I pull it up.
Yeah, alright. There's a link to it. Oh yeah, okay. So it's basically about there's an image and it shows the Zaya when they released it and Zaya now. So the question is, what do you guys think about all the changes that happened to Zaya over the last year?
From where we're standing now, all the updates like Redwoods, Soul Runes, Winterdawn, they were good, I guess. They weren't as bad as people made them out to be. But when the updates come out, you kind of feel cheated because they pull one thing and then they deliver a completely different thing. I don't know if they're wording it specifically to make it pass, or if they're like just genuinely clueless about their updates.
Yeah, well, to be fair, the Soul Runes are in from the start.
Yeah, but that's with Zaya. And the map, yeah, it looks nice now. It looked shit before.
Yeah, the map is a lot better. I mean, I don't like Redwoods or in Wintertod. Trying to think of
That's a
anything
bit
else
biased.
that happened. I mean, raids are good. Yeah, I mean, the map looks way better. I don't. What else happened to Zaya? Oh, catacombs. Catacombs are pretty good, I think.
They added in those minecarts.
Catacombs are
yeah.
great.
Yeah, I like the minecarts.
Oh, yeah, speaking of things that they polled and delivered something different, Catacombs is not what anyone expected.
No, it's
We can
not.
argue that it's good.
It's good, but it
Ish.
is not what. It's not what they had planned on.
No, it's not at all
being
what
at
they
all.
said there.
You know,
Redwoods.
You're a very
I,
biased source for Redwoods, Stefan.
I saw this. I saw this tweet. Kendall tweeted out something. Conversation that John and I had last summer. It was before the catacombs came out, and I said like, "Hey man, is our catacombs gonna be barrage friendly?" He said, yeah, you know,
God, yeah.
if you round them up, you should be able to get all like decent rates. Like they never expected it to be a meta. It wasn't intended to be. It just ended up having to be.
Yeah, they changed Slayer so much with that update.
hmm
It really is very different now. But yeah, I mean, the changes. Yeah, I just don't like the overall direction of Zaya. Zaya as a whole has been more toward AFKing stuff and more towards like too much reward for the effort you're putting in as a general. Even the catacombs, like what they were aiming to do. You know what John. You know when John was showing it off, like he was saying, oh, you can tag like 6 blood belts and go make a cup of tea. Like that's what they were aiming for, and I don't like that
they're
aim.
aiming for AFK.
Yeah, I just don't like the aim of doing some casual content that's too rewarding. I'm fine with them if they want to do piss easy stuff, but something like Blast Mine is one of the best updates they've ever done, and nobody
I
fucking
agree.
uses it. Well, some people use it, but it's one of the best updates they've actually released to old school. It's extremely balanced. I wish more of the updates were like that.
Look, like, I'm not overexcited when I'm saying Redwoods. I remember everyone got triggered when we voted for a new tree and suddenly we have TX, more XP and more AFK, and you're making money if you're banking them. That's not what we voted for. They need to give more information. A lot more.
Yeah, I think more information for a lot of things. I mean, I remember when Souls wasn't an update, but the mess that Soul Runes, when they released them, that caused.
Oh,
Christ.
I'm still upset that I don't think anglerfish were mentioned at all with Zaya, and then they just showed up
Yeah, that one did slip under.
Yep, came out of nowhere.
out of nowhere. +2 healing and healing over your HP. That's pretty powerful for something to not be pulled, period.
Yeah, it's a good point there. I mean, I like being able to see the map of Zaya expanding over time, seeing the changes that they made to it to, even just like the change to the landmass in attempts to make it look better than what it previously was. We got the Todd, we got the Crabclaw Island, Woodcutting Guild.
Wait, did they add the Crabcore Island later?
Yeah, it was.
Why?
Pretty recent.
Yeah, it was pretty recent. It was something that they added in with the like the sand crabs.
Is there anything on there?
The purpose
Yeah,
is it's
sand
more
crabs.
sand crabs.
More sand crabs,
You
great.
pay 10k to go there, and it's supposed to be less crowded or something.
Yeah,
I think it's a nod towards their favorite Reddit mod, to be honest.
Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, I think the main theme is them slipping things under the rug. They did a lot of that with Zoom. We can step away from that, please.
Alright, let's talk about the Dead Man finale. Got
This one was great.
Alright, yeah.
Honestly, they stepped up every time.
So this was the 4th tournament, 4th or 5th?
4th? 3rd? 4th.
It was at least the 4th.
4th.
It was at least the 4th. Alright, so Dead Man tournament ended up final location was at the Alcarad Castle. And guys in Rot just happened to notice that the doors at the castle were removed, and that's what you call a big fucking clue. and they took that big fucking clue and were able to hold down the castle. So like to get into the safe location at the end of the tournament, everyone had to run through the fucking gate at the Alcrad Castle, and there was one tile that you absolutely had to get onto every single fucking time. And well, Rod ended up having the last 64 members of the tournament. I mean, there's a lot we can talk about. So, I mean, whether it's them having to give away tickets to attend the event or what have you, talk about what you think. Talk about what you thought about Dead Man and how it ended and how they just everything was.
I expected nothing different. It was a fucking fiesta, and I loved it. Good banter.
Like, if you are like a genuine like proponent of the sport of Deadman, I imagine Deadman is horrific. Like, you hate it every time, and you're just disappointed every time. But for somebody that takes joy in how bad Deadman is and like what they can fuck up, I fucking love Deadman tournaments. They're so good. And when the gas spawned and everybody died, I nearly fell out of my chair. Well done, Jagex. More of this, please. I can't wait for the next one. With a live crowd.
Oh man!
Did we get that footage of the cloud or crowd? Oh my god!
I just seen screenshots of like 20 people all dying, like 200 people all dying at the gates.
I want to see like a picture of the crowd.
Nah,
the crowd.
The live Deadman show.
Yeah,
Live crowd.
So they couldn't even give those tickets away. Like tickets were free the day of, because they
nobody went.
no one went. No one went.
Was it held in the UK or the US?
It was in the UK.
It was just some big like I can't remember what event it was now.
They were partnered with the world's largest esports organization.
I don't know how they pulled off. Fair play to whoever's doing their negotiation.
Yeah, like
stuff.
how are they able to sell Deadman to them?
I don't know how they're pulling this off, but well done to it. It's either Ronan or Matt K. Good job to those two.
Which whoever was able to get that done, I know we gave Ronan credit for it last stream, but man, I can't imagine that the people on the esports organization that agreed to that after they saw what happened with Deadman.
They're not going back.
You are not gonna see that for the next Deadman.
Did you guys see that video? Some YouTube channel that does like esports highlights did a video like the worst esports tournament of all time. It was the Jagex tournament.
Yeah, it was real bad. So watching it, I thought it was. I mean, how much money are they gonna pour into it until they finally are able to perfect it? It's at least $40,000 that they've spent in humor.
They're so extreme with their changes. That's why. Like the issue was that like Wooks could out heal the fog, so they just scale it up like 1,000%, and then everyone's dead instantly. They can't. There's no moderation with their changes.
And Zoid, did you live close to where they held it?
I can't remember where they held it, to be honest. Probably, though. Well, it's in the UK, so it's not that far away.
Yeah, nothing more than a couple hours.
Let's imagine it's like 20 minutes away from your house. Like, would you consider going if it was free?
Okay, listen. If it was like there's a big gaming event that's in a city that's probably like half an hour away from me, I could like if there were like free seats, I would consider it. Stefan, I could go with Connor. It'd be a right laugh.
Yes.
I would consider going if there were free seats.
Vlog the Jagex Deadman mode tournament.
With a Hexis sign.
Yes! Yes!
And they pan to the crowd, so I've just got my Hexis sign.
We gotta push that Hexis merchandise out.
And the crowd, Hexis merchandise?
Sell it live.
Sell it live.
You'll make a booth.
That'd be
the Hexis booth.
Hexis booth will happen at some point. I remember back in like 2014, we were joking about having a Hexis booth and having a podcast at a booth live.
Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
Hexis Podcast 100 live at Ruinfest.
Oh,
you heard it here first.
I'll give that at least a 1% chance of happening.
Do you think that Jagex would allow you, if you talk to them, to have a booth there?
We could get mods on the
Hell
podcast.
no. Yeah, if we
It'd be
could get that,
amazing.
like, yeah, it would have to be something like that where we work them in as well. And could be
We
some.
could fill up some stage time. They need content.
Oh, they sure as shit do.
They can't even fill up their hour of like what's to come in the next year.
Chronicles should not be getting more time than.
They've
Old
abandoned
School.
Chronicle now. I think they just downsized the team like quite largely.
Well, didn't they have just as much TV time as Old School during?
They got more.
Well then.
If we talked about this last time, even if you gave Old School more time, they can't fill it. There's nothing to put in there. They can't fill up their hour slot of like what's to come in the next year. It takes them like half an hour of them really dragging everything out.
Yeah, having them have their own Q&A, I think would be good. Have someone in the crowd stand up, ask them a question, sit down.
Yeah.
Something like that would be good. I'd
Be
like
fun.
to get questions like that for a Hexis podcast. All right. So next we got Matt K talking about giving his opinions and thoughts on the final hour of Deadman mode. So there's a lot on here if you haven't had a chance to read it. Pretty much he what he says is we'll work closer with you to make the next one better.
Which is the same answer he gives every time.
I mean, something very some kind of political kind of answer. What you would expect from someone that knows that it's shit and has been shit 4 times in a row. But in here though, he gives his opinions on everything. I'll keep trying to ramble here for another 5 seconds while some people try to hurry up and read and can give some kind of half-ass opinion on it.
Oh fuck.
Am I supposed to be
Aubrey,
reading
go
it?
ahead.
Oh, that's a big post, man. I'm not reading that.
Yeah. He said the fog was bad. They'll fix that.
Very, very intuitive.
Posting the final area. Yeah, that would probably be good, I guess. He said he liked how people fighting at the end didn't get killed by the fog. It would have been better if they weren't from the same clan, though.
Yeah, they got killed by themselves.
That's quite a good line. 75k people watching Old School. Many of these will never have seen OS before, and what they will have witnessed is a whole load of people having a whole load of fun. Oh, it looked fun to me. They all died instantly.
That's something that I
A
want
lot
to
of
talk
people
about.
were really pissed off. That's what I
Yeah,
was
they were.
That's something that I want to talk about. So I've said this about every single Dead Man tournament. If that was the first time someone was seeing Old School, they weren't aware that they came out with Old School, and that was the first thing that they saw of it, I can't really imagine how appealing that is to someone.
Yeah, would
hey,
play it?
come and play Old School RuneScape. This is what we're about. This is what we are willing to spend $10,000 to advertise.
Well, the thing is, I think their main demographic is people that played it before and didn't realize that it was a thing. Old School RuneScape. That's their main selling point, I think. I think somebody that's like never even heard of RuneScape, I can't understand why you'd play it based on looking at the tournament.
Yeah,
but maybe, but then again, PvP doesn't interest me, so maybe it's just me. But yeah, 75k people. Honestly, and I know Matt K's talked about like he's shown that really shit graph of like people that come back to play after Deadman. I don't believe any of his shit, but I do believe that Deadman has done a lot for the game in terms of advertisement.
Oh yeah,
like 75k people on watched on Twitch is nothing to sniff at.
Yeah, no, it's something we've on the Hexis podcast has been pretty consistent. Is Deadman mode is shit. The tournaments are shit, but when it comes to getting views and getting attention, it's incredible.
Yeah, it was a very good job.
Arp, what do you think?
I mean, I know they've said before, but it is good that they're listening and they're willing to change more things. That's the only way they can improve it. So, not much else can be said about that, really. Yeah, the last one didn't go very well, but I think most people are hopeful that it'll improve. I'm glad that it was addressed, at least.
Yeah, I think that the most recent tournament just completely reinforced that no. Now I know that some solo player won it before, but It's yeah, I'm fucking done. All right, so let's talk about the best and worst of the Hexis podcast 2016. If you guys had a chance to watch it, what'd you think about it? What were some of the best highlights that you can remember from it?
I did not watch it all. I was fairly disappointed in Trickle and Ging. Because I was expecting it to be like short highlight of, funny moments or bad moments or whatever in the Hexis podcast. But it was just long clips, like 10-minute long clips. And it was like, disappointed Trick and Ging. Disappointed.
Disappointed.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I actually also haven't watched it all. I will, but I do agree with what Stefan's saying in terms of like putting in like a 5-minute long clip. I don't know. I mean, I've seen it all before. I just want to see the tip top bits.
The highlights were good. It's just you could just shorten them a lot.
Oh well, Trickle's gonna say if you'd like it to be improved, feel free to do it yourself.
Yeah, he would say that. So
I'm not a Hexis gen. Sorry.
You don't have to be a gen to do it.
I think my favorite was when Space Wolf sunk into his chair. So.
Yeah, mine too.
Was that on there?
He looked very comfy. I actually don't know if it was on there. It was on the Hexis Awards. I don't think it won the Hexis Awards.
I can't believe it wasn't on there.
Which one won the Hexis Awards, Randy?
For which one?
For the best Hexis podcast moment.
Keep talking. I'll find it for you.
It was Dakami. It was Dakami talking about his week when he said that like his leg had basically died 3 days in.
Yeah, hey,
that was amazing.
Going back to that, you said you were trying to stick up for Dakami. Like someone was saying that it was an extremely unhealthy amount that he had been playing, and you said, "Oh no, there's no long-term effects. Like there's nothing wrong with what he was doing." And then you asked the question like,
hard to defend him after that.
You were like, is there anything wrong with you or anything? And he was like, I can't feel my feet. and you were just like, well, can't defend that.
I tried.
Pretty bad. Sorry. The best moment was Dukami explaining his thieving week.
Definitely.
Yeah, which
what was the worst?
You guys singing "Happy Birthday" to me.
I wasn't there. But that was great.
That one was so terribly bad. It was so. Ugh. I was embarrassed for you guys, really.
I want to kill myself.
There were some good parts in it that I really liked. So at one point, Trance was talking about his room crafting week that he had. And he mentioned that he wished he would have shaved his head to cut down on the sweat.
Oh.
So he had always been open to the possibility. So that to me, like when I saw that, I was screaming.
Somebody in the chat about 20 minutes into the podcast starting said something like, "Oh, how come Trance isn't here?" And it reminded me so much. If you know that somebody made, I think it was NYJ made a meme. You know the guy that wakes up in a coma from a coma. Says like, "Oh, he's been in a coma for 2 years." He's like, "Oh, I can't wait to see my friend Trance music."
Yeah, that'd be great.
Fucking Trance.
Another good one was I was talking about this was like shortly after Poison Ivy and Dave, and I said that I liked her Twitter game very strong, and that I was expecting big things to come.
Oh, big things came.
And then you just hear Trance laugh. Like Trance laugh.
It's like he knew.
Oh yeah.
It's sinister if you go back and look, honestly.
It really is. Like you guys definitely got to go back and watch the best and worst of the Hexis podcast. One thing I was disappointed in was that there was no mention of the Australian servers. That was something that Ginge was going to put in, but he was just too depressed to put in. Trying to think of something else. Like I did watch this yesterday.
The one where Paul's home phone goes off was pretty good.
Oh yeah, that was a good moment as well. You immediately like it got like half a ring in, and you immediately saw that mic muted.
Home phone.
Oh shit!
So good. Yeah, there's a lot of great moments.
I'll probably rewatch it again in about a week, to be honest.
I'll finish it tomorrow, maybe. I watched like half of it.
All right. Yeah, it was very good. Thank you, Trick and Ginge, for making the highlights for us.
They do work hard.
Oh, one last thing that I wanted to say. Trance, and there was a quote by Trance. He said, "I can't wait until the Best of the Hexis podcast 2016. I wish that would have been the start."
I hope he's going to watch the video.
I hope he watches the video and maybe is a little bit sad about
Maybe.
it.
Just reflect a little bit on the last year.
Yeah. All right.
I feel guilty now. And they helped me so much with my Slayer spreadsheet yesterday, and now I'm blaming them for making the video.
He's going to be very upset at you.
All right.
I'm sorry, Treacle.
All right. So last week there were over 69,000 players online, which is an all-time high. You know, like even higher than what it was back when the game originally came out 4 years ago. You know, the initial release hype. Highest we've ever had. What do you think about us getting, I mean, almost 70k people online? Do you think we need more worlds? What do you think about the game growing? Do you remember the dark days? Like, there's 67k on right now.
That's too many. I'd like to invite everyone to please go away. There are too many people playing RuneScape. We can't handle it. Please play another game.
Yeah, just give your overall opinion on what you think about the game growing.
It's a good thing. It's really, yeah, it's surprising that it's actually higher than on release. Yeah, guess it's good.
Yeah, I like that the game is growing. I think having the highest that it was had a lot to do with the combination of raids plus winter break for a lot of people. So you can probably see the numbers going down a little bit over the next few weeks. But yeah, I don't have a problem with the game growing. It is weird looking at the list of worlds every day and seeing them at 800 when they're usually not that high. Definitely different.
I guess it's a good thing, but traumatic experience from RS3 kind of makes me nervous as well. For what change that they would make dependent on the majority of players.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Like, the more people that join waters down from kind of the dark days, as Randy puts it. You know, they're less of a share of the community. So what are all these new players? You know, what do they want? What direction do they want the game to go in? Who knows?
What do they want?
What do they want from us?
Yeah. Yeah, so the dark days were back from August through December of 2013. Back then, you'd have around we'll say about 9 to 15k players on at any given time. You know, 9k online during the low hours, 15k during peak. We hit 20k players online one time over the course of 3+ months. Those are the dark days. You know, it'd be real interesting to see how the players that played back then would vote and stuff in comparison to the players that play now. So I think you do have a really good point there with watered down. I think the game is definitely heading in a different direction than what it was 3 years ago, based on how many people we have and the kind of players that we have as well. I think it's good that the game's growing, but I think that the worlds need to also grow as well. You know, think of how bad it would be if they just started up a Dead Man tournament right now and we had 69k people trying to get stuffed into 10 less worlds than what there currently are.
Every time. The worst.
Yeah. We need more worlds.
We really do.
I think it's awesome that the game's growing, but we do need more worlds. Please.
We're all squished together. There's no room.
Yeah.
Especially for Hunter. Anybody still doing Hunter? Sucks to be you.
Oh, that image of 4 people doing Hunter in the private chin area.
Oh my god.
I wish
It makes me smug,
2250
but I
would
feel
have
bad for you.
passed.
Oh yeah, it definitely should have. That's real. I think they'll revisit that at some point, though, Casey. I gotta
Yeah.
imagine they will.
Yeah, speaking of revisiting things, like you touched a good point. Like back at the start, I remember about maybe 6 months ago, somebody made a Reddit post of like things that have passed within the past 2 years that were polled very near the start and like failed by a big margin.
Yeah.
There were many like you couldn't make changes at the start.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I missed that. The purism.
Yeah, the purity was really there. Like I think, yeah, it doesn't matter. But like, yeah, the purity was definitely there, and I think as we move forward, there will be more people who are kind of want the game to take a new direct, maybe not new direction, but keep the ball rolling, maybe at a faster pace.
Randy,
Yeah.
what was that tweet about where you were tweeting to Ash asking for more worlds?
I mean, it's about as clear as it is. Like, I think we do need more worlds. Like, with there being 70k people online, it's like I can't even begin to imagine what Slayer would be like, or any kind of other skills that rely on the best XP per hour based on there not being a lot of people around you. Man, we need more worlds to accommodate for the player base. Like, at what point would they start to take it seriously that we need more worlds? Like, if we got up to 80k online, 90k, what would be their breaking point? Because, like, right now,
I reckon
as
100k. That's when they'll seriously
because,
consider.
like, as pause is showing right there. Alright, I need to figure out how to turn, like, the alerts off. Casey, thank you. I need to figure out how to turn, like, these alerts off when I'm streaming
Brand
the
big
podcast.
fan.
Like, there's, like, 1k people online per world right now. Like, that average is insane.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, it is odd seeing more than like 500 on the world I usually use.
Yeah, like there used to barely be 1k people in World 2, and that'd be the only world that would sniff 1k.
Mm.
Alright,
Yeah,
so
I'd like to reiterate, everyone please go away. We're full. Stop it.
yeah, no room.
No room here.
Alright, so I don't know who added in this question, but
Probably Trickle.
The chocolate bar. I spoiled it.
yeah, it's we were talking about this a little bit before.
That's a good question.
Yeah, you're not the only one to say that. So, chocolate
These are the
bar.
best kind of questions.
All right, what is everyone's favorite chocolate bar and why?
Mine is
why?
Marabou Dime.
What is it?
I'll find a picture here. You put it in
Well,
the
give us
freezer
a
as well,
run
so
through.
it's ice cold. Is it the same word in English? Dime?
We have dime bars, but I don't know if they're the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same. But it's
dime
like,
bars. Okay.
It's there we have.
Let's see.
Soft link.
Ugh.
Yeah, we have those. They're good, I guess.
It
Why
says.
is it your favorite, Stefan? Why
Oh
is
my
this
god!
one your favorite?
Hey,
I
look at the wrapper. It says, mmm. You see that? Since 1916. Mmm.
Well, why is this one your favorite of all of them?
As my friend taught me a long time ago, that if you put it in the freezer, it becomes wonderful.
Okay.
It's the best ice cold.
See, I like these conversations because I like the divide between like Britain, the US, Australia, and then just Europe. So I don't know. Do you guys have double deckers in America?
I have no idea what that is.
No.
No.
I'll know
Double
it, I'll show you.
deckers.
Double deckers
Yes.
are wonderful. So they're like
Let's
the
see
top
a picture.
half. It's like
Let's
top
see
half
a
is like
picture of a
nougat.
double decker.
I've got a double decker. It's basically like the bottom half is like a kind of a crispy thing. It's like a solid chocolate with like crispy bits in it. You know what I mean? And then the top half's nougat.
Sounds
I'm gonna get a picture of it now.
kind of like a crunch bar, maybe.
Oh, it actually looks amazing. Is there an ice cream?
There's probably
No.
an ice cream version. There's an ice cream version for everything here. Let's see if I can link in Twitch chat. There we go.
Let's see this. Double decker. Yeah.
They're pretty like strong. They're big bars
What
as well.
shall we
Like,
call it?
you get a lot of bang for your buck with those.
Yeah, you
Pretty
can't
good.
refrigerate those, or else it will break
Oh
your
no,
teeth.
you break your teeth on those.
All right. Yeah.
It's kind of like a Snickers, I guess. Similar.
Yeah. It looks like a Snickers.
There's no peanuts in there. Like it's a Not the same. Yeah, they're great.
All
We
right,
have
Aubrey.
I like I don't know, Reese's is good. Reese's peanut butter cups. I like the Lindt truffles, those are good. And I really like Butterfingers. Those might be my favorite.
I really do not like Butterfingers. I gave them a chance. Oof,
I had one.
not,
My
not
family,
for me.
my mum and sister went to New York like 6 months ago, and they brought home like as much like American candy as they could. So I had like a lot of stuff. I don't understand the obsession with peanut butter. Like, it's peanut butter's fine, but it's in everything, and I don't get it.
I don't know, it's good.
Peanut butter is pretty good. I like the super chunk peanut butter though.
Oh yeah, I have chunky peanut butter.
Okay, thank you. Hey, creamy or chunky peanut butter? Everyone go. What's your opinion?
Both.
Chunky.
Chunky, yeah.
I don't really care, but I would rather have chunky.
Like, Stefan, do Swedes have peanut butter?
I first discovered peanut butter like a year ago almost.
Mm.
It was my brother who like bought a
What?
can of it, and it was sitting in the drawer. And then he got really mad at me because I didn't know it was his, so I just ate it up all in like 2 days.
Yeah, like,
Put it
I
on
don't
everything,
think Americans
sandwiches,
realize.
ice cream, everything.
I don't think Americans realize that peanut butter, like, even in the UK, like, it's a kind of a big thing, I guess, but like, you all have it in everything, and I don't get it.
It's
People
really
smell it
common
as
here.
well.
Love peanut butter.
Yeah, alright. Going back to a chocolate bar though. Oh, I guess it's not my turn, but I'm still going. I think I'm more of a fan of like a Kit Kat or a Twix. Probably a Kit Kat more so than anything. And you know damn well that I eat that Kit Kat the way you're not supposed to. I don't eat it
Oh,
one
yeah.
by one. The entire fucking thing at once. Like 5 of those
Like-
sticks are being eaten into at once. Like here, let me find a picture. Alright, keep talking about what you guys
Who's
like.
not gone? Kacy and Arp?
Snickers.
Decent choice,
Why?
decent choice. Why?
Peanuts.
Fair enough.
The caramel. It's good.
Alright, so I just put a picture in the Twitch chat.
Oh, no.
That is how I eat my Kit Kats.
No.
Kit Kats are great, dude. I don't really love chocolate bars though. Like I'd much rather have like Skittles or M&Ms or something like that, but that's what I'd like.
Do you have these in the US? Post a link in the Twitch chat.
Let's see.
Like it's
What is that?
You don't
Yeah,
small,
what the hell?
it's small paper boxes, pretty much. Like just
That
Filled with
looks like
candy.
it's choking
Like
the
they're
giraffe.
What are they?
it's just
my
it's just candy, just whatever the fuck. Like it can be anything in them. It's just like
idea.
small
This
paper
box
boxes.
doesn't describe what's in it is the problem.
Yeah, it can be any kind of candy, pretty much. And it's like small paper boxes.
No.
I
You
don't know.
don't have this.
I got mad at my brother because he used to like just chug the whole box instead of eating them one by one.
What about you, Arp? I think you haven't gone.
My favorite is probably a Boost bar.
Boosts are good.
Yeah, they're not very good for you though.
Oh, I doubt they are.
It's let's see, it's over 50% of your GDA of saturated fat.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's very tasty though.
I can never remember, like, they have something in them, and, like, it's some unique thing to them, and I can't remember what it is. They taste good,
Just fat, isn't it?
probably. Boost bars, mate.
Yeah, it's nice, but my sort of your chest seems to hurt after you eat one.
Oh, I gotta get me one of them.
What the hell is in them? I'm gonna try and find out now. Boost bars. Oh god. But yeah, I think in general, I like chunky like Snickers, Mars, Double Deckers, chunky chocolate bars are the best ones. Lion bars, they're good.
Oh, when did you get new panels, Randy?
About a week ago. Shout out Haley XXX for the design. Thank you. God bless.
I think you got new panels.
They look pretty good. Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
did
mine
you
are
remove
bad.
the next question, Randy?
Remove the Christmas event question.
Somebody in the chat asked me to specifically ask that question for Aubrey, and you removed it.
Alright, go ahead and ask him
What
it
was it?
yourself.
The
then.
question,
Oh,
Aubrey,
no.
well, this was mainly for Aubrey, but we can do the same order as the chocolate bars. It was, what is your favourite smell?
Oh god, I know who asked that.
He
can I
asked
guess?
many times as well.
Yeah, and he's going to be so upset if nobody answers now, so please go, Stefan.
Is it steel hitting granite?
That's
My
not a
favorite
smell.
smell is freshly mined granite.
That's fantastic.
Oh, that's great.
Favorite smell? I don't
Oh,
know.
that's all the one. We can move on.
If you move me, I can Google what it's called.
Well, you need to Google what your favourite smell is. Is it really your favourite?
It's a different word in English. Hold on.
Okay.
Different word in English.
Exit smells. Exit smells my favourite smell as well.
You know, I got a new chair, and my chair came in 2 weeks early, so that was incredible. Chair wasn't supposed to be in until the 27th. It came in on the 13th, and it's a nice leather chair, and I gotta say I really love the smell of some nice fresh leather. Just
Where'd
Yeah,
you
my
order that
old
chair
car.
from?
I got it from Amazon.
Where does it deliver from? Do you know?
I have no fucking idea. Probably from. I have no idea, honestly.
Because like anything in the UK that took 2 weeks to get to me, like you have like I
No,
don't
like-
know,
like
nothing
it-
takes that long.
All right, so. Well, with that though, it was because it was out of stock. So like I bought it. I bought it like January 7th or so, and it was supposed to be like it said on the site in stock January 20th. And so like if you buy it, it'll be sent out to you, and you'll get it between the 25th and the 27th. And you can only imagine the surprise on my face when I found a 50-pound
imagine.
box of shit on my front porch, and I had no idea what it is. Because I
You're
was,
so excited.
it was
Did
completely
you
off
keep
the
the
radar.
box?
Yeah, the box is still
You gonna make a fort out of it?
8 feet away from me. Nah,
You gonna make a fort?
nah. It'll be good for storage though.
Hey,
Chair,
Stefan, did you Google your
chair I
smell?
got is Merrick's. Pretty good.
What's
I'll
your favourite
link that
smell?
after, Randy. It's called stewed chanterelle mushrooms.
I like mushrooms.
Do you know what chanterelle mushrooms are?
No clue, mate. Sounds
No.
great though, Stefan. Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah,
All right.
good thing.
Freshly
Cantarella
freshly
for the Swedish
smelled
boys.
granite. All right, so they removed the like 65k limit on logs and put it to 2.1 bill for like Slayer bosses Slayer monsters and bosses. And they also added a streak for bosses, which can be reset. Helpful to count like a dry streak, and just some nice quality of life things that they made to those logs. What do you think about the changes that they made?
I saw people talking about this. I don't care. But did people that were already at lots, did they all just start at lots, or did their counter keep ticking? We just couldn't see it. I doubt it keep ticking.
I still don't know.
Either way. I mean, there are people in the
I
clan
doubt
that
it
surely
would
had
have
lots.
kept counting.
Yeah, it probably didn't. Yeah, if you kept counting, there's no reason to show lots, really, is there? I don't care at all. I guess some people like this. One of those changes that has no downsides, so sure.
I haven't even really had a chance to look at it. The new, like, I guess, design of it. Do you have like a screenshot of it, like, handy? I guess I could log in, but I think I saw a glimpse of it on, like, they preview it on a Q&A or something? I don't remember. But yeah, I don't see any downsides either. I think it looked slightly better than what it did before.
Oh yeah, so Scott says that it still says lots and that it stopped counting.
That makes sense.
So those who have 200 mil Slayer aren't gonna have the I gotta say I'm pretty happy about this change then, because I'm gonna love to see the amount of like actually having the amount of everything that I killed and there being a log for it, whereas otherwise you really wouldn't have a fucking clue.
Hmm.
And did they say that it still says lots now? Like they didn't change it back to 65k and like start the counting there for people who had it?
That sounds odd if that's true.
What do you mean?
Like the way that it is now, it doesn't still say lots for people who had lots before, right?
I don't. I mean, Scott said it's still at lot, so maybe.
That would be really weird if they left it that way. Then it would be like a discontinued thing, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it's at the number. It doesn't say lot, so 65,535.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think it's a real good change they made, and I think having the streak is really good as well. Good on
Yeah, I
them
like
to
that.
come out with some quality of life like this. These are the kind of updates that we need. PVMers gotta love it. Alright, so
Anyone else care about this?
Matt K had a data stream. I don't know if we talked about this on the previous podcast. Been 5 weeks since the last one because we had the break in between with the best and worst, and then there was the holidays. So
No, we didn't talk about this. This happened just afterwards, and we probably should have prepared more for this because we watched on TeamSpeak together. Everyone that was on at the time, it was hilarious. We should have prepared more because there's a lot of content in that stream.
all right,
To take the piss out
I
of.
want you to then briefly spend as much. I said briefly.
Briefly,
Yeah. I realize what I just said. Spend as much time as you can. Give us as much detail
you really-
about it.
I may have oversold it now because I mean I don't know how long I can talk about it for.
Oversell and underdeliver, baby.
I'm gonna have to. Oh, you want me now?
Yes.
Oh, well, he talked about some shit, showed some graphs. Graphs were to his usual quality, which is wonderful. The problem is, right at the start, he had a lot of suspense for things that nobody gave a shit about. So he spent about 10 minutes going over all the items in game that were the least of them in game, and everyone's guessing, loads of cool stuff like third age axe, third age pickaxe. It was boring shit like armed rope 25. Like nobody cares about this. It took him 10 minutes to get to the climax. Absolutely nobody cared.
That's fantastic.
He went through all the question shit. He went through just for him to talk about it for 6 months about because he was talking about it for so long about all this data that he had. Yeah, all this data. He's gonna do a mad stream. It's gonna be so much information. It's gonna be everyone's gonna love it. Honestly, I can't. There was nothing interesting on its own merit. It was just funny because of how bad it was, for me at least.
Which was worse, that data stream or him getting stuck behind a door?
Well, him getting stuck behind the door was hilarious. So.
Alright, Stefan, what did you think about the data stream?
I did not watch it at all. I have no idea that it even happened. But I watched him getting stuck behind the door, so...
It wasn't the same stream.
I don't care.
It was like last year or something.
Yeah.
Why
Was
was like 2 days ago? That was the first time I saw that video.
Yeah,
Somebody
it's
just
posted on
reposted it
Reddit.
on Reddit.
Oh.
Yeah, so who the hell is Maud Lottie, and why does she do Matt K's job a hell of a lot better?
Yeah, she is so much
She's
better
the data
at doing that.
specialist.
So why does Matt K tout himself as the data guy?
I don't
It's
even know.
all about giving the illusion.
Just writing the memes.
Yeah. I didn't watch the stream, but I saw quite a bit of tweets about it, and based on just what people were talking about, gathered enough information to probably. I mean, it pretty much painted the picture of everything that I had expected it to be. Like graphs without fucking X and Y axis, squiggly lines, and I mean it's bad. And I guess it was what I expected it to be.
Oh, there was another thing, for the first 20 minutes, they obviously hadn't prepared for the stream as well. For the first 20 minutes, every time they switched slides, Matt K's camera would be covered up, and they had to move it. And there's a screenshot of when there was very little space on the screen because of all the quote unquote data he was showing. So his camera was about maybe filled at 1% of the screen. You could just about tell it was him in the little box, at the top right. He may as well have not been on the screen. And also, he had this pointer to go to the next slide, and it didn't work at all. So, for him to go to the next slide, probably talking about 20 attempts every time. And when, the TV remote doesn't work, and you just, start leaning forward every time to get closer and closer. He was doing that every single time.
That
It was great.
is fantastic.
I think the best part about the data stream was that half of the data was not even correct.
Oh yeah, I heard a lot of stuff on there was just
Oh yeah.
out
They
of
said
like
something like 1,000 DKs were killed a day.
yeah, and they said
D-
like 1,500 Vedions were like
The
they
Yeah,
said
best,
like
the best
more-
one.
correct.
more Vedions were killed per day than DKs.
Yeah.
Like who the fuck is he getting those numbers from? That like that there's
The best
no
one was
way.
the best one was when he was going like, "Oh, where is all the most combat XP gained?" So we all sitting around like, "Oh, it's obviously Nightmare Zone." So we're just waiting up for the climax, and then the first one wasn't Nightmare Zone. So we were like hands in the air, like, "What on earth is he talking about?" And then he goes out about 2 minutes later, he's like, "Oh, by the way, Nightmare Zone wasn't tracked." So what the fuck was the point? For
Yeah.
a start. And then on there was apparently what was it called, the battlefield or something? So we were like, "What on earth is the battlefield?" It turns out, just north of Tree Gnome Village, where all the Khazan people are fighting the gnomes.
Yeah.
That's the battlefield, and that was in the top 10 of the most combat experience gained is there.
No.
Who on earth is training there?
You might be talking about the NPCs, like pretending that they get XP
Oh, no,
or something.
No, it must be when you finish the quest and that counts.
Maybe.
That actually must be it. I can't think of any other way it'd be there. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Right, you can have that back, that counts.
Yeah, like the thing with the Nightmare Zone thing was, you remember how they were holding off on nerfing 6-hour methods because they
Yeah.
needed to get more data on it.
If they weren't
To
even
nerf.
tracking
Where
it, how did they
the
make
hell
sense?
is that from?
Exactly, this makes me think that there's no way they were tracking it from the off.
Yeah. Completely agree. Yeah, the number. Kacy, thank you for bringing up that point about the numbers being so wildly inaccurate for some things.
Not even that the numbers were inaccurate, is that no one on the team even thought that it was wrong at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
really?
a big problem.
Yeah, apparently there were like 800 Zolra kills a day or something. I was like, that's not true. There's no way this is true. Like 20
Like one
people can do
person.
that a day. There's more than 20 people killing Zolra.
It's like a lot of times it just baffles me how little they know about the game, and they're the ones developing it. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think it is very, very concerning that, ignoring the piss poor quality of the data, for them to genuinely believe that that data is accurate. It's impressive how out of touch with the game you have to be to believe that all of those numbers that were provided are good without questioning them or trying to see if there is something wrong. It's just like almost anything that you could see that was bad was bad.
Yeah, like I don't mind him. Like I don't mind him doing his shit data stream. Like we all know it's bad and like the numbers are wrong. But why does he have to hype it up for like a year about all this great data he's got and it's always shit? Like the graphs released at RuneFest as well of like they just mean nothing. They could have like they have made them up for all I know. For all I know, I just believe they've made them up. There's no point in them showing us.
Yeah, I gotta know what this data warehouse, how it's collecting these numbers for kills and how it's tracking most combat XP, because I mean people that play the game know that Nightmare Zone was the most XP, and for them to just say that it's not significant and that it wasn't tracked, get the fuck out. Vedions killed more times per day than DKs, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Was there any other kind of data that was provided that was just completely out of nowhere? Like similar to the incorrect numbers.
I mean, I remember being surprised at the most quests completed, but they were probably true.
What was it, Cook's Assistant?
Yeah, no, but yeah, it was Cook's System, but there was also like what quests have been completed the most over the last year, and that surprised me as well because it was. I can't remember what was first now, to be honest. But yeah, I think we were surprised that Monkey Madness wasn't on there. Was the only real thing. Runes were tracked as weapons. Yeah.
yeah, that
Oh,
bar
yeah.
that they had with all the weapons on it.
That was hilarious. Yeah, that graph didn't even make sense because
No.
it looked like. Like I looked at it, I was like, hang on, does this mean that 100% of weapons are G-Mols? Because that's what the graph looked like. And they did this, like, how many weapons are in the game, and they counted runes as magic weapons, yeah. So that the graph
Oh
just
my
looked
God,
stupid,
yeah.
because
It was
magic
so
was a
bad.
million times bigger than the melee one. And then they counted arrows for the ranged one. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It was so hard to read because they had like one section of it was like a DWH had
Yeah.
like a huge portion of
Yeah.
like I guess
They wanted to believe there was
Warhammers or
more
what was
DWHs
it?
than DSs.
I don't even know. I didn't even know how to read it honestly. Like,
It didn't make any. Yeah. The DWH little bar was like 3 times as big as the DDS one. Like, it didn't make any sense, yeah.
This is the quality that I think we're at a point where we're not even surprised anymore. But
Here's
Less
the
than
home
1%.
teleport away from a door.
alright. So OS Buddy 3.0 is coming out soon. No idea when. It's been
Supposed to be
delayed
today,
a little
wasn't it?
bit. It's been delayed a little bit. I don't know. It's supposed to be on raids today, but
Okay.
looks like they're trying to fix any. They're polishing it up before releasing it, wanting it to be the perfect product. It has some graphical changes to it, kind of similar to the ones from pre-EOC, but there are some other changes that they made to it. Like it's supposed to be running much more smoothly on on your computer and everything. But if you saw the 3.0, what did you think about how it looked with the graphics and just everything that they're trying to do with it?
I mean, it looks pretty nice. I don't think I'll be using it just because it would be so weird, but maybe I'll try it. I don't really mind old school looking the way it does, but I really like how they're making it so that the game will run off of your graphics card, because that will help a lot of people with frame rate issues. And it's, I don't know, like it's weird to me that Jagex said it would be such a big job and all this engine work and stuff, and yet from what I've heard from RS Buddy devs, they said it took them like 2 or 3 weeks to do this OS Buddy 3.0 stuff with all the graphical changes. So
Well, I think one
kind of
thing you got to
interesting.
look at is you're comparing people with high work ethic to those that perhaps might not have as high.
Well, I mean, the developers at Jagex are good. Like, I can't really fault any of them. But I guess none of them are engine workers, though, is the problem. So I'm trying to think of why can Jagex not seem to get anyone that can work on the engine, but OS Buddy can?
I remember.
Well,
I
they're
remember.
not
not on
changing
the
the
engine, they're
engine.
just-
That's
I
the
know,
thing.
yeah.
They don't have access to.
But
the
why
engine.
do they have these workarounds which Jagex can't do?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
I remember Matt saying that there's a handful of people that work with OS Buddy that would be able. I mean, like the team is looking for 2 engine people and like a QA
Crazy
test
forever.
and a QA test. Like they're looking to hire a lot of people. But I remember Matt saying something like there's several people on the OS Buddy team that could do a damn good job at like working engine, and that they'd even be better than what Ian had been doing before. So, I mean, it seems like based on what they said that they have higher quality employees than what Jagex does. I don't know.
Perhaps.
I really want to try 3.0 just because lately a lot of times I don't even really feel like streaming because playing off stream and on stream I'll lose about 20% or like 20 FPS, and it just not having smooth gameplay bothers me. And I know that when I go live, it's going to be I just lag. My CPU just can't handle it. So I was really excited because it was supposed to come out Tuesday, and then Saturday, and then today, and it still isn't here. But I'm definitely gonna give it a try when it comes out. I hope that it just smooths it all out. The graphics, not really a fan of them. Maybe I'll try it, but probably just gonna be using it for the GPU usage.
And you say you're relating with Australians right now.
What do you mean?
There's Australian servers.
Oh, true. Yeah, I guess.
I would definitely use OS Buddy 3, like the updated graphics, unless it makes my computer lag like crazy or the client lag like crazy, which
It's supposed to do
I
the
don't know.
exact opposite.
I'm being realistic. But if it runs smoothly, I will definitely use it. And like I said, any graphic update is a good update in my eyes.
You play with it, Orb?
I don't use OS Buddy a lot of the time, but from what I've seen, it looks really good. And like what people have already said, I think it's great for people who've sort of got worse system performance because it can only run on 1 core. But yeah, I think that's really good. So good on them for doing that.
Yeah, now Kacy, you were talking about having some problems lagging while streaming. I like myself, like I wouldn't like if I had to choose between streaming and lagging or playing lag free. Would definitely choose playing lag free. Like I know it was like about like a week or two ago, I was uploading a video to YouTube, and actually it was Dropbox, not YouTube. And like I forgot that I was uploading it, and then I started streaming, and I was lagging a lot. And I like when I streamed about 10 minutes, I said like I can't stream like this. I gotta end the stream. Like I would never stream if I was lagging the way that you're saying that you are. It'd be terrible.
I mean, like off stream, I get flat 50 and it's smooth. On stream, I'm bouncing between 30 and 40. So like earlier when I was streaming raids on Ulm, like my 6-way melee to magic switch, every single time I would miss like at least one switch just because it was like that those little like jitters in
Yeah.
the FPS. Like it makes me miss an item, and I don't know, it's just annoying. I'd
Yeah,
rather
it used to
be
happen to me on my old laptop before I upgraded. It was so annoying. Like when I was streaming, my FPS was just fucked.
yeah. So I'm really hoping that client like maybe solves this. So looking forward to it.
It should. I mean, I'm looking forward to it as well. Not really for myself. Like, I don't ever have any problems with anything running with OS Buddy. Like, even sitting here on 4 accounts right now, no problems. But I know there's a lot of people out there that are going to benefit greatly from the changes that they're making. Looking at it from a graphical side, I'm not really a fan of the graphics for the game as a whole. Saw a picture of our statue and what it looked like with the update, and that looked really good. But for me, I think after having played with these graphics for probably 10,000 hours, I'm stuck with these graphics. Like, I don't think I could like something else. I'll give it a try, but I don't think I'm going to end up playing on the different graphics, the ones that are supposed to kind of look a little bit like pre-EOC. I know there's going to be a lot of people that do enjoy it, however, and that's good for them. And yeah, it's optional to change it, so again, that's good.
Have they made some? Actually, no. Can you run on OpenGL without the new graphics?
I believe
I
you
think
should,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
If that's the
I
case,
think-
I probably will use it, and I'm not particularly excited, but it'll be nice to have my CPU run at maybe 1 degree less.
Yeah,
That'd
they
be
said the anti-aliasing will be toggleable.
Lovely. Yeah, cool. I'm not particularly excited. There's nothing that I've seen from it that's like really got me excited for it, but that's a nice change at the very least.
Alright, so talking about OS Buddy here. On the previous podcast, I said that I was going to be giving away a year of OS Buddy Pro. You know, that's the most we ever given away.
Oh, this one requires a drum roll.
Usually it's only 3 months, but the winner of the 1 year of OS Buddy Pro is Initio. If you can send me a message on YouTube,
Hooray!
I'll send you that year. Congratulations.
the year.
Especially with the increase in price of OS Buddy Pro. That's a good that's
That's a good deal.
That's almost a $40 value that he just won. Congratulations, Initios. Alright.
Wait, how much did it go up?
A dollar.
50p. Is it $1? I thought they were up to £2.50.
Yeah, that's like
How much does it cost for you
right
right now?
Like it costs $3 right now.
Oh, it's £2 for me, and they're up at £1.50, I think.
Yeah, so I
Can
get
buy OS Buddy membership? Or it
Yeah.
goes up more?
got
Yeah, if you keep yours running, they're going to grandfather everyone. So make
yeah. That's a good point there. If you have OS Buddy Pro right now, you're not going to be charged more, but it's for people that buy it in the future.
As long as you keep your subscription rolling, it's the same as the old legacy RuneScape cost. I know. I think Aubrey, you're still on, aren't you?
Yeah,
you talk
he's still
about-
paying that $5 a month.
I think I'm paying. I can't remember what I'm now, but it's less than what it currently is, at least.
All right. And all right. So for OS Buddy Pro code giveaway this time, about to be 3 months here. Leave a
I'm gonna
comment.
make one up. Oh,
Leave a comment
we have.
on the video with the hashtag.
Where's Trick?
Yeah, where's Trick?
Where's or where is?
Where's?
We'll go with where's.
Where's? WHERS.
Where's?
Trick.
WEARS.
ERS.
No. If you spell it like that, you will be declined. Where's Trick? Hashtag Where's Trick? All right. So now that raids are done and the artists have more free time, they're going into these graphical updates. Do you think they should maybe start looking at coming out with 200 mil capes? For those with 200 mils, would you like to see them? Reminder that, and just a reminder, adding incentive to get a 200 mil would be the downfall of skilling.
I can't contribute to the downfall of skilling, Randy. Yeah. These are one of those things that, like, I know a lot of people are really excited about it. Has Randy gone or something? He ended very abruptly.
No,
okay.
Go
I know this is a thing that a few people are very excited about, and I just don't care. And I kind of agree. It's one of those things that, honestly, the incentive for people to get 200 mils will hurt the market very slightly, and I don't care enough about the capes for me to be willing to accept that. So I do not want to see the 200 mil capes.
I think they'd only really affect skilling if there was actually a reason to go for it apart from wearing a cape, because
a cape's a big deal.
Capes are a real.
Oh,
yes.
You're playing
like,
RuneScape. Capes are a big deal.
Yeah, like if you look like 12 years ago or however long it was when they added the like 99 skill capes, which didn't do any, like they didn't even have any perks back then. Like the explosion in the amount of 99s that people had or went for, like that was the main reason why a lot of people started going for 99s way back in the day, was to get a nice cape. So I think that absolutely, if you add in a 200 mil cape, that people will do the same. Like, look at the max cape. Look at how many people we have doing it now, and that's only because it's so useful. You know, completely ignoring that how it looks. If they
People do a lot of stupid shit in this game just because max, like.
Yeah, there's a lot of like. Aubrey, how much time did you spend? How much time did you spend at Trouble Brewing?
There was 150 hours.
Holy fuck!
If you add a reward to some, people will do it.
Spent like probably over 1,000 hours going for cosmetic items.
Yep.
I mean, isn't there somebody that's capped out
And I
their
never use
chompies?
any of them.
Hasn't somebody capped out the chompy counter?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, but
I
regardless,
hope
like
not.
somebody will do it just because it's there.
I really wonder if somebody ever will. Like, I've thought about it, it's so far down on the list of things I want to do.
It's 100,000, right?
Yeah.
How long does that take?
Like, a bit over 300 hours.
I could do that.
That's
Yeah, like, it's
not that
crazy.
bad.
Just, like, nobody has
Like,
decided that's what they
Stefan, you
want
want to race? That's another world first for Hexis, Stefan. You want to race?
I think I need achievement diary for that.
Oh, yeah, it'd be awesome, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, I might get a chompy by accident. Oh, I could have a chompy killing video soon. I'm going to do it.
You could expect to get, like, 200 chompy pets.
Oh, it'd be the best YouTube series ever.
You spend 300 hours at getting the chompy
I'd spend
and
longer
then
killing them
300
than
hours
getting
killing them.
You just sold me.
Alright, Arp, what do you think about the 200 mil capes?
they can release them for guilds I've already got 200 mil in, but wait for the rest, please. Release fishing now. The rest of them can come later.
I like the idea of it, but when I think about it, it's just gonna increase the cost of everything I want to do, and I'm never ever going to wear it unless I can combine it with my max cap. So no, don't release them, please.
I don't think that they should.
Yeah, I
Reason?
I agree. Well,
No need.
Fair enough.
I wasn't a fan of the 120 capes. Not a fan of 200 mil capes. Honestly, I was never even a fan of skill capes in general. Like,
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't want 200 mil capes. I don't really see myself wanting to wear them. And I don't know, I just think it's a silly, arbitrary incentive to go for 200 mils, and I think that the desire to go for a 200 mil should come from within, not from without.
It's very nice having a special little community of weird people.
Yeah.
So, Aubrey, would you agree with that adding incentive to get 200 mil would be the downfall of skilling them?
I don't know if it would. I don't know if I'd go that far. But
Would it contribute at least?
yeah, it would definitely contribute. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine the price of buyables going up quite a bit, and I can see why a lot
Into
of people.
triple digits turbo soon.
I I can see why a lot of people wouldn't like that. Having all the buyables besides smithing done myself. Yes, please bring on the 200 mil capes.
Actually, if they add them, I'm having another. I've got another argument now. That if they add them, we can laugh at the people who wear the 200 mil cooking cape.
We could,
Well,
we could.
You know,
would
that's
wear
a
it?
plus. It's a plus for them adding 200 mil capes.
Gotta weigh the
Imagine
pros and
slaying in the
cons.
cave.
Gotta
And
weigh
you
pros and
see a
cons, and
guy
that's a
with-
big deal.
Imagine seeing a guy with full rune and a cooking cape doing blood wells.
A 200 mil cooking cape, amazing. That takes. Oh man, that's so good. Yeah, I'm gonna vote yes, just for the cooking cape.
Yeah, I think 200 mil capes would be good. I know that this is something we talked about, and then we talk about it every now and then. I know that back when I was the only one with 200 mil con, that was something that I really wanted, just so I could walk around and be the only nerd in the game with it.
You forgot you got 200 mil.
I did. It's when I remember seeing it on the. I remember seeing it on the wiki and going nuts.
You screamed.
It was fantastic. But adding in like 200 mil capes, I can see the arguments for and against it. But I think that if they did add it in, it would be something that they would like. I think some players would play the game a little bit longer and a little bit more than what they previously did. And I can see why you would want it added or why you wouldn't. I'd like to see it though.
Thank you, Andrew Wiggins, for 6 months in a row of subbing.
All right. Looking at the devlog that they came out with. I skipped over a question. All right. Zulrah came out January 2015. Zaya came out January 2016. Raids January 2017. Yeah, it seems to be that they always like you know how they talked about releasing like Zoid. I know we were talking about this before, like releasing quality updates at like key points. This has got to be one of those times when you think, you know.
Oh yeah, all the boys and girls get RuneScape membership Christmas.
Yeah, and then they come
They're
out
all
with
playing
with a heavy hitting
big
update.
And raids were big. Remember that? That's a big update. In bold, big.
So
yeah,
you know, like it seems to be a common theme here that they're trying to hit a home run at the start of every single year. Of the ones that they've done recently, which one's been your favorite, and you know, what do you expect to see next year?
Well, they hit pretty hard with raids, harder than they hit with Saya. I think raids is my favorite out of those three, like Saya, Zulrah, and raids. Yeah. Next year.
Mining Todd.
I think that's gonna come out with Fossil Island, which I wouldn't be surprised if it is next year, but they said it's supposed to.
I think Fossil Island is a strong contender.
My God. What do you think the poll is gonna be?
More PVM for Stefan.
What do you think the poll is gonna be?
Oh,
Did
we release a new high effort mining minigame? Yeah,
A minigame. Just specifically for the rewards, and it's like
I'll be more suspicious this time.
Heart racing boss battle.
Yeah, what do you think, Kacy?
I would say Raids is definitely the best out of all the three. Zulrah, very damaging to the game. I mean, I'm sure Raids probably are, but not like as directly. Like Twisted Bow is probably a bit too powerful, but it's not bringing the type of stuff into the game that Zulrah is. Next year, aren't they planning on Fossil Island being like this summer? Is that what they said?
Yeah. You just said in chat, summer 2017, yeah.
Raids were last summer also,
yeah.
though.
Yeah, raids
Yeah.
were June 2016.
Maybe we'll see Jed 2 next year. I don't know.
Yeah, that's another strong contender, I'd say.
It's
Yeah.
actually gonna be mining.
For sure, but mining Todd. What did you like, Stefan?
From an objective standpoint, probably raids. Like they're solid. The content in them is solid. From a personal standpoint, I guess everything else in Sea that I do. Wintertoad and Redwoods.
Yeah, same here. I'm not going to do raids probably, but I've seen them obviously on streams and YouTube, and it looks amazing. So probably raids first, and then Zaya because I use that a lot, and then I don't know. Zora was damaging, but Magic Seeds.
Yeah, imagine what the price of farming would be without the snake.
Yeah, so I think raids is of the three the best update. And what can we expect for next year? I'm very excited for the January release of Australian servers personally.
Yeah, I think Raid's by far the best designed of them. Looking at Zulrah, seeing how they've evolved their bosses over the years, Zulrah 2 years ago, that was like the mechanics for that were something that we'd really never seen before. No one in
the office could kill it.
Yeah, no one could. And then seeing them progress from something like that to raids, like it's awesome to see the progress that they've been making. With just developing bosses. So I think that raids were by far the best of the three. I think Zaya was one of the biggest flops of any update ever. So there's no way I could say that was good. Zulrah and raids good. Zaya bad. Alright, so devlog that they have is the poll system. They want to look at changing some things, possibly. I don't know. There's a poll coming though. So some things that they talked about on there was limiting certain questions to players who interact with the content which is affected. So that could perhaps be, whether that be like a Castle Wars update for people that have played Castle Wars in the last month, or like peers voting on if they can go back to a Monkey Madness Island, or anything like that. Just discussing
2250 is the total level players voting on a 2250 total world.
Yeah, things like that. Putting limitations on stuff like that.
For them to start the devlog, they start the devlog. The first line is representing everyone fairly. That's so hypocritical. If they're going to try that,
doing this does not represent everyone fairly. No. It
specifically goes the opposite way.
Yes, exactly. I agree with you there. So horrible wording with that. Everyone is fairly represented when everyone has us having our vote counting just as much as a guy that started a month ago. Our votes count the same. That's fair. Mm-hmm. You're a paying customer. However flawed the polling system is, and I again go back to whatever time and time again, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. It's all about giving us the illusion that we control the game. But I don't like the idea of limiting who can vote in a poll and then trying to say that represents people fairly, because I really don't think it does. Just because you don't interact with the content every single day or every single week doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to have an opinion on it and have your opinion heard.
Right now, is it any kind of limit on who can vote, or can you just you're a level 3 member?
I think there's a total level thing.
A total level?
Yeah, you have to have a certain total level to vote, I think.
It might be time played too. I don't know. It's like
could be something like
that. It's like something to where you would be able to get in a day of playing.
Oh.
You can't make an account just off Tutorial Island just to vote.
I was about to suggest maybe 1k total level or some shit to vote in polls. Just have some kind of limit.
Then you have people no one perfect can vote.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's really a good idea to limit questions to certain groups, realistically speaking, because they said something about they would only do it for updates that only affect that group, but I feel like that's really arbitrary.
It is very arbitrary.
There would be updates that they might consider didn't affect anybody else that would affect other people. So, I don't know. I'm not really wild about this idea.
It completely goes against the idea of voting in the fucking first place. If they're just going to ask, 10 people, oh, you guys want free stuff? Yeah, I'm sure they want it. it's just a stupid way of wording. Like for that, like I said, like representing everyone fairly. This doesn't represent everyone fairly at all. Like it goes the opposite way. I really hope they don't even consider doing this. Really. Who's next? Kacy?
I don't know. I could see good things coming from it, but I can also see bad things coming from it. They probably shouldn't do it. Yeah, I wouldn't think it would work out that well. Maybe like certain things like the total level world, that doesn't really affect anybody but people with that total level. So like that in that case, like it wouldn't be.
Well, you
a
say
bad
that,
idea.
but imagine if like there was like an Iron Man specific world. I'd just be annoyed because we got one less world to go on. But it does affect everyone else. You know what I mean? It's one less world for everyone else.
Not if they added it.
Well, they're not going to add it. Yeah, sure, if they added a new world, but they won't.
We'll probably see new worlds soon. Didn't they say on the last Q&A they were up for adding new worlds? I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
I think they said soon they'll like probably look at adding extra worlds.
If they do,
they don't have any control over that though. I was talking to Ash about that, and like there's like a whole separate team that's like in charge of adding worlds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it, regardless how bad they want to do it, it's completely out of their hands. You know, it could be like the pathfinding thing from 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'll go back to what I said before. I don't like the idea of limiting your vote to not like. I don't even vote on shit anymore since they removed the ability to vote on the site. I'll check the poll on an alt, and if there's actually something that's pretty close, I'll vote on it. I did actually vote for the Elder Wand though, because that one was kind of close to failing, and I made sure to vote yes on that one. But yeah, it's not. People aren't being represented fairly. If you
What, you mean the code I want?
Fuck them for renaming it. Fuck them.
Is there a poll vote in Crafting Guild?
They finally
Yeah,
had one.
There is
they
now,
added
yeah.
one recently.
There hasn't been a poll since it was added, I swear.
Yeah. I don't remember ever using it.
I'll vote on that one next time. I haven't voted in a long time because of it.
I usually I'll go to G and do it.
Yeah.
Or what was next?
Yeah, like
Actually,
Arp. Imagine if they like came out with questions that were directed towards players with like 10 HP or 1 defense. How would you feel about something like that?
I don't think I'd like that. It's so one-sided. Obviously, if something's going to benefit 10 hit point pures, I'm probably going to vote for it. So I'd rather not just have 10 hit point people voting on 10 hit point questions. I think it's fairer for everybody to have the opportunity to vote on it if they want to. I mean, they've always got that skip question option, so if you really think it doesn't apply to you, then you should be skipping questions rather than answering them, really.
Yeah, they should push that narrative a little bit more. Just like, put that like when you're voting. Like, if you don't care, don't vote. If it doesn't affect you, don't vote.
Yeah.
Alright, so another thing that's on the dev blog here that they talked about is reducing the level of support required for approval to 70%. If they did this, they would probably repoll a whole bunch of things that were close to 70% or things
Christ,
that had
imagine all the
above
shit that
70.
gets the game.
There's a lot. So, like, from what I can remember, there was like a whole bunch of secondaries for Herb that were supposed to come out with Nightmare Zone, but they got like 72, 71% and stuff like that. Like, with 70%, all that shit would have passed, and all your secondaries would be dirt cheap. Like, there's a lot of stuff that got 70 to 74%. But what do you guys think about them possibly reducing it to 70?
I think it's fine at 75%, really. I don't think it needs to be reduced. Anything that gets like near 75%, they tend to tweak and then repoll it anyway, so I think that's a decent system for what we've got.
Yeah, I agree with Arp there. Like, if it gets close, they repoll it anyway, and find where it is. Even higher, I would appreciate, but lowering it, definitely not.
Yeah, I wouldn't lower it either, because yeah, they do anything that they really want to pass. They just repoll
They'll
it
find a
over
way.
and over again. Like it still didn't pass, but loot share, they repolled loot share like 4 times within like a month and a half. I don't think it was that many times, but it was ridiculous how hard they were trying to get that into the game.
They did
Fucking
pull
fails.
Artisan 3 times.
Speaking of Poland, I think it's another time to give an obligatory mention to the minigame reward shop. Really excited for that update.
Yeah, still waiting.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm gonna tweet Ash right now, ask him when we can expect it to come out. Holy
Do you
shit!
reckon like they have any? Do you reckon they even started developing it?
No, that's just they're just not gonna do it.
I really want them to release a statement on why it's not been done.
Like Dancing Studios all over again, so do you remember?
Oh, don't even start with Dancing Studios. We're not doing this. There's not even any point in me saying because I'll just echo what everyone else has just said. Randy or Aubrey, you have a differing opinion?
No.
Nah,
Give it
not
up.
really. Alright. Alright, how about allowing players to change their vote after they have already casted their vote? Do you
I
think...
assume Trick added the genuinely terrifying part.
Yeah, he's still contributing even when he's not contributing.
Yeah, it's genuinely terrifying, and I can kind of explain why. Because when people go to vote and set right now, because it's a binding vote, you kind of have to put in like a little bit of research because you don't want to just blindly vote. You know what I mean? Or you can skip the question. But if you can change your vote, like that's terrifying because people can vote for things like and have no idea what they're fucking talking about because they can just go like, oh, if I change my mind. And no, I don't want people to have no idea what they're talking about voting on things. I want people that actually care to vote on something and then everyone else to skip it. So I think what Stefan said of pushing the narrative, if you don't care about this question, please skip it. Don't just vote yes or no based on what your streamer thinks. I really do not want them to do this at all. It's a terrifying thing.
Yeah, I really dislike seeing people basing their vote off how people have already voted. I know they've talked about removing that, the ability to do that. See what people have already voted. Oh, sorry. But no, yeah, just what Zoid said. Don't want people to be able to change their vote. Too many sheep.
No, I'm just echoing Zoid's opinion. There's like, they go in, they vote no, and then they check their favorite streamer, MoneyRS, and he's screaming Hexis Virgins, and suddenly they're voting yes on 200k mining in our AFK.
MoneyRS is my favourite streamer, so yeah.
Yeah, mine too, mate.
I subbed to him.
I know. It was a good business decision.
That was a great business decision.
Yeah, that would be very bad if you could change your vote. There's no way. Polls would basically mean nothing at that point, so there would be no point even having them.
Randy, do you disagree?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people should be able to change their vote. People shouldn't be able to change their vote. I want there to be even more of a restriction on people voting. Like, I think that when you go to the poll booth, it should come up with the dev blog, and you should have to scroll through the entire dev blog. If not to read it, but you have to at least scroll past before you actually get to the interface to where you can start voting.
Yep. And when it says, have you read it,
idea.
you press the box, it brings up another one. And you have to read it again.
Yeah, I'd be all for that. I really would.
Absolutely. You want to inform people, and people who aren't informed, don't give a shit, should skip it.
Yes. Yes.
Please push that narrative.
Start reading it out to you in like the robot voice. As soon as you open up the poll.
Oh man, if they could add add that in, that'd be a nice quality of life update. Have it pick your mod, which one you want to read it back to you. Holy shit. That would be great.
Be like 90% Ash.
Connection with the higher voted to do a voiceover as well.
Yeah.
I absolutely would.
Hey, this could really take off, boys. Alright, Yeah, as Arp was talking about a little bit earlier, talking about something that they also want to look into is concealing the results of the poll until it has ended. I think out of anything, this is probably the one that will pass. I don't think they're gonna limit people. I don't think they're gonna lower the approval or allow people to change their vote. But I do think they will make it to where people can't see the results until it's over. What do you think about them? Do you think that they should do that?
Yeah, definitely. I like this idea.
I agree. I really would like to see that as well.
Yeah, blind voting is a much better process than knowing what it is going in. Like usually I don't vote. I don't vote on something because I already know that what I want is passing, and I see that it's got 80% passing. There's no way I'm going to spend 2 minutes voting in the poll then. I know that what I want's passing. But if I don't know what it's like, I think for me, I'm a lot more likely to vote in it knowing that what I'm voting in, I don't know if it's passing or not.
Agreed,
Yeah.
and it'd be so exciting at the end of the week every time.
Yeah.
We could have a nice reveal event. We get everyone on TeamSpeak. Oh, it'd be amazing.
It would
Yeah,
probably get more people voting, and it would probably get more of those people that are voting actually reading the questions.
I think it would as well.
Yeah.
Like, maybe researching more about like what they're actually voting on instead of just seeing 80%, yes, 60%, yeah, no. Just
Also,
skipping through
it would
it.
annoy all those, all those people that are like, oh my god, this update's on 74.9, everyone go out and vote, everyone go out and vote.
Fuck it.
Get rid of all those people.
I do understand that there's a lot of people that enjoy watching the results teeter one way or the other throughout the week, and there's a lot of fun in that. But I think that having the announcement day would be a lot bigger than what you have throughout the entire week. Now, if this was implemented a couple years back, I don't think the GE would have passed. I'm sure there's many updates that would not have passed had we not known the percentage until it had come out. But
Yeah.
I think we're at a point to where we get higher quality voting results by keeping the results concealed until the
No,
end.
this does give them a chance to do some sneaky shit. Because imagine they could go, sailing's at 74.7, we'll tip it over the edge, no one will know. I don't know if they do that, but it gives them the option to.
But how would they?
It's
How
all
would we
hidden from
find
us.
out if they're doing it now?
Oh, they could be doing it now, we don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot easier to do it now rather than surely there's somebody watching the poll. I don't know. Make it easier to do it, surely.
Nah, I think it's a nice conspiracy theory that you want to have, but no, I'm looking forward to this. All right, and then the last thing we got for the polling section here, what other suggestions would you personally have to improve the poll system? What would you most want to see? Like for me, I'd like to see the voting on the website make a return. Since that was disabled, I have stopped voting in practically all polls besides the one with the raids rewards. And prior to that, where I could vote on the site, I voted in every single one. If only the
It makes me
website
cry
team.
inside that you can't vote on the website anymore.
If only the
Does it still
website
show
team could help us
inaccurate
out.
percentages on the website?
I think it does,
It's been doing that for so long. The web team does fuck all for old school, and it's so bad because people go onto the website and look at the results, and the percentages are wrong because it's
They
not
count
counting the
skips now.
skips. Yeah,
It counts
yeah,
skips as no.
counting them wrong.
Very stupid.
That's retarded.
It is retarded.
Oh my god.
Pretty much, yeah. Bring it back on the website. That'd be nice. Yeah. Honestly, the only other change I'd like to see is the voting thing, and some kind of massive fucking disclaimer with an alarm that says, "Please read the questions and only vote if you care and skip if you don't."
Yeah.
And because the website team is not part of the old school team, I have no problem calling them shit every time they come up, because I don't see how old school can't be given just at least some time every now and again to improve the website, because it's so wank. They could just look at the RuneScape website compared to the old school piece of shit. It's terrible, and they never do anything to fix it, even though the game's more successful. I think it's a vengeful thing at this point. They just hate how successful old school is. Just one web guy, please.
There was something added. It wasn't by someone on the web team, I don't think though. They came out with a news section on the old school homepage. If you check that out, it's like a log of all the things that have come out. You know, whether it's going back to 2013. Like here, I'll post something in the chat here. It's just an organized archives section that they have, which I think is really awesome. But I don't know if the web team did that. If they did, that's good. But they really have not done too much for us over the 4 years. I would really like to see.
4 years.
Yeah, I mean, can we call it that?
It's close.
We're 5 weeks away from 4 years.
We should wait. We should have a happy birthday RuneScape stream.
Ugh. Hexis' 4th birthday is coming up soon. All right.
Hexis karaoke can finally come back.
Maybe we'll see. All right. Start closing some things out here. You know, like what's everyone been up to during the podcast? What have you guys been training?
I'm runecrafting with lavas.
What's that XP at?
39.3 mil.
Nice. What are you doing, Kacy?
Nothing.
I mean, nothing.
Nothing.
Hey, you
All I do is raid. I can't raid while I'm on this. So.
Well, see, did you do something? Surely. You logged in.
Don't have a client open.
This is a new level. Like we've had like Abra fishing sharks, but this is too.
Oh,
I need a second. I'm stunned.
You should come do lavas with me. You need that pet, don't you?
This is the Hexis podcast. You can't be doing nothing.
Let's speed this up now. We got to hurry up.
Jesus Christ.
Thank you for the commitment.
Please read the full line, Randy.
Stefan is doing PVMing.
Please read the full line.
Nope, won't
Who
do
typed
it.
that? Was it Bronze?
I assume it was Trickle.
Zoid, what are you doing? Zoid, what are you doing?
You
Hurry up,
skipped over
go.
Arptastic.
Oh, sorry, Arp, what are you doing? Go. Arp.
Woodcutting.
Alright, you're woodcutting. Zoid, what are you doing?
Listen, I'll take my bloody time, Randy.
You were talking about speeding some things on earlier. It was like 2 questions in a row. You were like, Randy, you got the same opinion as everyone else?
really fast.
All right. What are some of the goals you'd like to achieve in 2017? Go. Arp, you're next. Go.
Quick, Arptastic, go.
200 mil runecrafting, woodcutting, and herb lore, mining, smithing, construction, farming.
These are a lot of goals.
Hunter, fletching, crafting, and thieving.
Oh, this better goal than their goals Hexis 2017.
200 mil.
Good goal. Did you meet it last
I
year?
could have just said that.
No.
You didn't do it last year?
No.
Right, this year. This is the year.
Yeah, this is the year.
Right, Kacy, what would you like to achieve this year? You log in?
More pets, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I mean, I talked about this like a month ago, and I'm just going to do agility. So I don't really have a goal.
Gonna find yourself in a 3,000 hour coma.
Yeah.
Is this
Maybe.
the longest you've been online on RuneScape for weeks now, Zoid?
Yeah, I'm on 3.5 hours. I'm feeling that I'm getting a headache, Steph. I'm going to have to go lie down.
Alright, so for me, I'd like to get 200 mil smithing, which I'll get next month. And then, work towards 200 mil Slayer. I know that I'm not going to get 200 mil this year. But if I could perhaps get like 150 mil Slayer, or I don't really know. I mean, with the starting up here in a week, be back at full-time work. So I don't know. If I'm still a year from now having fun and being successful, that's all I could ask for.
Yeah, my only goal with RuneScape is to keep playing and keep having fun. I mean, I'd like to get to Invil runecrafting, but I don't want to bind myself to that this early on. Might change my mind.
Was that question, was the dragon short sword too short?
Too long.
Oh, right.
So in the interest of time here, want to give a big thank you to Kacy and Arptastic for you guys coming on for your first podcast. Really appreciate you guys for your time. Viewers like getting to hear someone new every now and then as well, getting to hear different viewpoints, opinions. So thank you guys for coming on. Thank you everyone for watching the podcast. Our next podcast, should be in 2 weeks, either on the 28th or the 29th. I mean, I'm not entirely sure yet. So follow us on Twitter at Hexis. Follow me on Twitter at RandalicioursRS for updates on when the next podcast is going to be. Hope you guys...
Why are we rushing?
Because
What?
Because. Alright. So thank you, everyone, for watching. And see you guys in 2 weeks.
Bye!